Hey everyone, welcome back to what might be the very last The Witness stream. Last time I left off around here. I had just started this pillar over here. Then I started thinking about the panels I was missing, because I came to the conclusion that I still needed 14 panels to solve. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make that because I wasn't sure if I'd missed some. But then I started thinking I'm missing 7 discarded panels, which I can see in the lake. Then I've done the 6 bunkers with 6 solutions that look like the beehive thingies. That's 6. And then for the secret true ending, you have to input a specific solution into the puzzle at the gate at the very start, and that also counts for a solution. So luckily I don't have to go around the whole map trying to find the one missing panel, but it actually comes out nicely. That is cool. So all I have to do to get everything done is to first off get all those panels solved, then do the last few environmental puzzles. Pretty sure I only have this pillar to do, and then I want to say 4 or 5 from the pillar on the town. But 3 or 4 of those have to be done in the cinema, in the theater, which you need the solutions for from the beehive puzzles, from the bunkers. And then there is the very last one, which is the gate again for the true ending. So it's looking not bad. I think we might be able to get it done today. We have a good stream. So the question is now, I want to see if I can get over here. I might have to twist one of these panels to get a better view. Let's run back. There's also this panel here. There's another one I could do. Like this, 2 lines. Nice, right? So that should be only 13 things left to do. 13 regular panels. Oh, right, and I also need to do all the recorders. I have to pick up those as well. That's also something I should not forget. Luckily, you can track those on the lake as well, but I have to not forget about that. Right, how are we going to do this one? I think we can do this one like so. There we go. And climb down here. Oh, I'm not completely sure if there was a recorder here. Or if this was just, you know, trying to be funny, like, oh, this is how we were supposed to get up here, but the yellow path is gone. Not too sure, maybe it wasn't recorder. Luckily I can always check on the map, the lake. Let's leave that like that. Maybe it's somewhere around here, I'm just not seeing it. We can double check on the lake. So let's go this way. Now we'll try to get this turned so that we can get a better look at this one over here. Because from here it's just about blocked off. And from here it is too. So we might want to get a bit closer to the left here. Let's see, where can I... So this is the first opportunity to bend it left. Maybe we have to stand up there. Let's remember how this works and try to do it the other way around. So going like this, basically. Also not sure if there's maybe a recorder somewhere in here. You'd have to check. Or at the top of the building. I think you could get up here? I think. Maybe not. There's also a panel over there, so I have to twist this anyway to over there. Can I get a look? I can. Very nice. Right, now one solved. I also have a hunch, I'm just not completely sure about that, but that at least one of these streaks of panels had a line on the underside, and that if you stood on the beach below, you could draw a line up there, and that you'd maybe have to do them in a certain position. Just not completely sure about that anymore, but I feel like I do remember something like that. Alright, let's check if there's a recorder here. Don't see one. You have this panel. Should be easy to solve. Once you know how they work, they're actually really easy. It's just figuring that out. And of course, in a way, these are meant to be tutorials for the challenge, but it doesn't always end up, you know, you don't always end up doing them in that order. I did a few, but not all of them. Luckily, I just was able to catch on how they worked. Right. So I was thinking, oh look, see this sort of looks like a line, doesn't it? And over there it has a corner. So you'd have to move these panels so that this line continues. And then maybe you'd have to, you can see sort of a corner or an end shape over there. So you'd have to line them up in a certain way. These are fine, these are nothing to worry about. They do have a certain shape. I'm just not sure where the starting point is, the circle. We'll find out soon enough. Right, so I was thinking, in the grand scheme of things, those recorders are actually really annoying and boring to pick up compared to the environmental puzzles. So I was thinking maybe to try and get those recorders done first. Especially in the areas that we've already completed with the environmental puzzles. I feel like that once you know where to find them. Oh, actually, speaking of environmental puzzles, I know I'm not alone in this phenomenon, but last night after I played and I did nothing but environmental puzzles, I started to see that shape everywhere. I even dreamed of it, I think. It's weird how you become almost hallucinatory trying to find that shape in everyday articles. It's really amazing how your brain can just be coaxed and taught to try and discern certain patterns. Right, as you can see, all these lilies are close, so there's a ton of them I still need to do. So at least this one we know where the bunker is, because that was the really annoying door with a very vague sound puzzle. So this one should be very close to that. Somewhere on the ship. Then I'm thinking this little puddle, these little puddles are meant to be the swamps. So there's one to the left at the very start, it seems. Because I think you enter them like this, and then you go over the bridge. And you end up somewhere over here. Am I wrong about that? Maybe I'm... Oh no, actually, these are the tree houses, aren't they? Because the swamps have a laser somewhere. Are these the swamps, maybe? It's a bit hard to discern sometimes, but this is the mountain, which also still has a ton of recorders I need to pick up. That's not going to be fun. I'm actually not sure what these yellow ones are, to be very honest. I'm completely sure what they are. Yeah, this is then probably the laser for the swamps. And these are the tree houses then? This does look a lot wider than the actual map looks, I think. Alright, let's try and do this one first. And then there should also be a discarded panel on ship. Now we know where the bunker is. And from there on out we can sort of try and find that one. Maybe this is the dock near the tree houses. Because it is all the way over here. Or is this the second part? No, this is the bunker. Alright, so we'll get onto the ship. Ooh, actually, are these is this the castle maybe over here? That could very well be, because I think there was a discarded panel near the castle. But this is the ship. This is the castle. And then more so over here is the treehouse area. This one's near the very end, so that's probably near the dock. This one's more towards the start. Probably somewhere near the pillar. Somewhere near the pillar. Maybe the drawbridge or something. Alright, let's start off here. Let's do this one. Try and find that discarded panel as well. Then we'll do the two ones that I think are near the treehouse. And after that we'll come back and then we'll probably do the castle. So we need to go through the castle to get to the ship. There's also a couple... Actually, there's quite a bunch of environmental puzzles. I don't know where I could find all of them, and I want to do this a bit more at pace, so... I don't know if I can actually do all of those. Or if it would be fun to do all of those right away. But if we see any that we can pick up, then I'll probably do so. For example, I know we need the boat for this one. There's also this one, which doesn't quite fit. It almost fits, but it doesn't quite. And I think you needed to use the side of the boat to go over here and then activate it. And then travel along with the boat as it drives over here. There's a couple inside the boat that we can pick up as well. Just need to find the discarded panel somewhere around here. But it's a shipwreck, so it could be anywhere. I'm not sure if I have even found it when I was walking through here last time. I know this is a shape. You can actually see it. That is a shape. There's one. Here's one. Just you need to be in the boat and travel underneath to actually activate them. There is the panel. Very nice. So we go like this. That's that one done. Now let's try to find a recorder. It should be close to the bunker. And the bunker was in here. I feel like it's probably going to be in the captain's hut. Somewhere. Maybe not this one. That is an environmental puzzle, by the way, but we might have to stand over here. I think one more floor up. Should be somewhere over here, I think. Oh, there we go.
A shipowner was about to send to sea an emigrant ship. He knew that she was old and not well built at the first, that she had seen many seas and climes, and often had needed repairs. Doubts had been suggested to him that possibly she was not seaworthy. These doubts preyed upon his mind and made him unhappy. He thought that perhaps he ought to have her thoroughly overhauled and refitted, even though this should put him at great expense. Before the ship sailed, however, he succeeded in overcoming these melancholy reflections. He said to himself that she had gone safely through so many voyages and weathered so many storms that it was idle to suppose she would not come safely home from this trip also. He would put his trust in Providence, which could hardly fail to protect all these unhappy families that were leaving their fatherland to seek for better times elsewhere. He would dismiss from his mind all ungenerous suspicions about the honesty of builders and contractors. In such ways, he acquired a sincere and comfortable conviction that his vessel was thoroughly safe and seaworthy. He watched her departure with a light heart and benevolent wishes for the success of the exiles in their strange new home that was to be. And he got his insurance money when she went down in mid-ocean and told no tales. What shall we say of him? Surely this, that he was verily guilty of the death of those families. It is admitted that he did sincerely believe in the soundness of his ship, but the sincerity of his conviction can in no wise help him, because he had no right to believe on such evidence as was before him. He had acquired his belief not by honestly earning it in patient investigation, but by stifling his doubts. And although in the end he may have felt so sure about it that he could not think otherwise, yet inasmuch as he had knowingly and willingly worked himself into that frame of mind, he must be held responsible for it. William K. Clifford, 1874.
Yeah, nicely said, William. Right, let's see. I think the other recorder was somewhere close to here. And then there was one all the way at the end, probably. I think it was somewhere around here. I'm not completely confident. Problem is, it could also be down there somewhere. It's not likely, but it is possible. Right. Should have gone back to the lake, shouldn't I have? Just to take a second look at how close it was to the pillar. Alright, let's go do that. It's not fun, but has to be done. At least we know where the pillars are because they are the little fountains. We know which fountain it is because if you've solved all the puzzles on the fountains, they work properly like that one. But if they're only small fountain like this, then they are the ones that you haven't solved. So these three I can say with certainty are going to be the castle, because it's on that side. And this is the laser of the castle, which is in the middle of the castle area. So, in a way, this is going to be on the far side of the castle, and this might actually be on the shoreline, up towards the ship over here. So, where I said they might be pretty close, I don't know where these two are going to be actually. They seem so far away from that pillar, almost as if that's not even on the island anymore. Maybe you can only spot them traveling by boat? I don't know. I feel like that part of the lake is all very clear, but this one seems almost a bit warped, as in this looks quite close to the mountain, which is true for that laser, but then the tree houses being all the way over here almost seems like absurdly far away. That's a castle. This is the laser for the tree houses, probably. We can sort of deduce where this one's going to be. Sort of. Let's say if this is the beach, we know where the pillar is, sort of, and where the laser is. It's almost smack dead in the middle, horizontally wise, and then just down below. We do also know where this panel was, because we've just solved it. That's where the discarded panel was, and that was the other one. That does check out. So, going from the laser, and then where the panel is, it's almost a straight line for these two, almost. But I mean, there's only so many tree houses, so should be able to line those up. Okay, that's good. But again, I feel like this might be nearing the beach. This is where the docks are. I don't know how to get to this one, let alone this one all the way out there. Because this is where the shipwreck ends as well. So it's so far away. You might need a boat, but even then I don't know whether the boat will reach there. Might have to really look closely, and it's on a rock somewhere in the distance. Something like that. Right, there's the laser. Go to the discarded panel, and then it's a straight line. This is where the discarded panel is. So maybe it's up here. Can we get there actually? It's an interesting one. Can we get up there? Or can we spot it, maybe? don't think it's anywhere in this little tree house, is it? Don't think there is a way to get up there, but maybe there is a way to peer into this treehouse if we make the line go like this again. Wait, how did we? Right, like this. Or maybe we have to go to the right, maybe then we can peer into it, actually. That might make sense, because there's 3 possibilities. Only 2 seem to have any use. Maybe this one does have a use. There we go.
When we choose silence, we choose to give up the reasons not to love, which are the reasons for going to war, or continuing war, or separating, or being a victim, or being right. In a moment of silence, in a moment of no thought, no mind, we choose to give those up. This is what my teacher invited me to. Just choose silence. Don't even choose love. Choose silence, and love is apparent. If we choose love, we already have an idea of what love is. But if you choose silence, that is the end of ideas. You are willing to have no idea, to see what is present when there is no idea, past, present, future. No idea of love, no idea of truth, no idea of you, no idea of me. Love is apparent. Gangaji, 2009.
Oh, hello. This looks a bit like a path, doesn't it? I think we might just have to use the boat to get a certain angle on it. I feel like that is going to be a line for sure. Right, I sort of figured out where the other recorder was. It's on a rock near the edge of the beach. Just thinking that this, of course, is quite a bit further away after crossing this bridge. Maybe at least 1 or 2, maybe both, but at least one of those recorders might be around here as well. The ones I said were looking to be too far away. Maybe one of them is actually around here. I'm just looking if I can spot it, maybe. But it looks unlikely. The thing about the recorders is the boat, I could spawn it at least, and we'll get a good look at the map. It might, like, one of the recorders might be out on this rock or on this, is it a mangrove tree? But the other one was, I mean, it doesn't go much beyond that, and there's no other things it could be on. The boat does make a bit of a loop. It probably goes around that tree, so maybe it's on the other side of that rock. That would account for the farthest one out. And then there might be another one still here somewhere. Right, this line is going to cross over into this beam. And we'd still... And that might actually be the end point. by the looks of it. Then we'd still need to find the starting point. Not too sure what that might be. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Now we wait for it to float around so that we can use the beam. There we go, another one solved. Very nice. And how did we... Oh, we need to be on the other side of the... Alright, that's a bit sloppy. Thought I could access it from this side, but apparently not. Okay. Well, we know where that recorder is then. Let's see if we can find the other one. Maybe check the lake again. I know it's a lot of back and forth and it's a bit boring, but it's the best method to get a good idea of where they might be. Since we have to move around all the way here again, might as well go to the lake first. Have a look. But I'm pretty confident that the furthest one out is going to be on the far side of the little rock or the tree that I pointed out. Because the boat really doesn't go any further than that. If this is the ship, this is the very edge of the ship, then this right here is somewhere going to be the beach, the dock where we just were. And then it'll make a little loop like this towards the swamps. So I feel like that could work. It's just a bit odd that this whole lake is pretty damn close in terms of representation of the map. This is the laser for the swamps. It can't be anything else. But of course, there's all those tiny little lakes and swamps over here before you can even access this, that are not really well represented, it seems. But this one's going to be interesting to find as well, because this just doesn't look that much like the swamp area. So maybe this being water means that this is that area, so this is at the outer edge of the area. Probably also near the docks, but I'm not completely confident in that. Let's see. Also this one. Oh wait, this is the ones on the rock we've just talked about. This one... almost directly below the laser. It's somewhere near the middle of the ship and directly below the laser. We could try and find that. Yeah, this one's going to be the boat, I bet. Do we know what this one is? We have a good hunch of what this one's going to be. This one's going to be... So I think this is where the two parts connect, just about. This is the part of the boat with the bunker on it. This is a split in the middle. This is where you sort of enter from the castle. And this is somewhere near the split in the middle. below the laser. Alright, let's go check it out. I think we need to... Can we access the beach from here? Yes, okay, good. Good. Let's walk to those rocks. I think it was here? Yes.
These hearts were woven of human joys and cares, washed marvelously with sorrow, swift to mirth. The years had given them kindness. Dawn was theirs, and sunset, and the colors of the earth. These had seen movement and heard music, known slumber and waking, loved, gone proudly friended, felt the quick stir of wonder, sat alone, touched flowers and furs and cheeks. All this is ended. There are waters blown by changing winds to laughter, and lit by the rich skies all day. And after, frost, with a gesture, stays the waves that dance and wandering loveliness. He leaves a white, unbroken glory, a gathered radiance, a width, a shining peace under the night. Rupert Brooke, 1914.
Right, let's keep in mind where the laser is. But if I take a look at the split in the ship, where that lines up, I think we have to be on that side of this treehouse forest. And then this is going to be almost directly underneath the laser, looking from the lake. And this also lines up. It might be either here, up here, or on the beach down below somewhere. But I don't think we can access the beach down below here. I think we can only move up to there. So we either have to have really good eyes, or it might just be up here. But then where could it be? Doesn't help that they are really tiny things, those recorders. It's still not impossible that it's around here somewhere then. Fortunately, that split in the ship is quite big, so sort of a vague, quite big area still we need to look out for. Not underneath the staircase. Oh. directly beneath the laser, wasn't it? I can just about see the laser over there, I think. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see where it could be. That is annoying. Position-wise, it's probably going to be up there, isn't it? Also not at the underside of the bridge, is it? Well, at this rate, it's not going to be one stream before I'm done. Also not on top of the roof that I can see. I'm just not seeing it. That's so annoying. I know it has to be somewhere close because I sort of not really triangulated it, but sort of matched it up with where it could possibly be. I feel like if anything I might have to be a bit more to the left, but I don't think I can while maintaining my horizontal position, like there. On the other hand, there's not really one split in the ship, there's actually two. So maybe I am mistaken that it should be here. Right. That's at least... Oh, actually... What happens if I go like this, maybe? Maybe then I will spot it. Not too sure. And maybe I do need the boat to be able to spot it. I don't know where it will go exactly, but I assume in between here, underneath the bridge. And then I might be able to spot something that's in those mangroves over there. And afterwards I'll take the loop around here as well to check if there's anything on either that tree or the rock next to it. Go a bit slower. I can give myself a bit more time to have a look. If you see anything on the screen and I miss it, give me a yell, cause I don't want to be here for too long. Yeah, I feel like if there was something I might have already missed it. Is there anything here? Knowing that the previous recorder was over there, this was quite a bit further than that. I feel like it has to be on this side. But I don't know if it's maybe even further. Might be. I don't see anything. Let's go around and at least try to find one recorder then. Maybe seeing where that one is will help us figure out where this one could be. Oh, there is one.
Lustily, I dipped my oars into the silent lake, and as I rose upon the stroke, my boat went heaving through the water like a swan. When, from behind that craggy steep, till then the horizon's bound, a huge peak, black and huge, as if with voluntary power instinct, upreared its head. I struck and struck again, and growing still in stature, the grim shape towered up between me and the stars. But after I had seen that spectacle, for many days my brain worked with a dim and undetermined sense of unknown modes of being. O'er my thoughts, there hung a darkness. Call it solitude, or blank desertion. William Wordsworth, 1888.
Maybe it is closer to the docks than I first thought. But still, where could it be? So many spots here where they could hide one. Oh. Well, at least we did a few more puzzles. We have one more recording. So it wasn't completely fruitless. If this is the rock, then I feel like the dock is somewhere over here. So let's assume that instead of water, all the water that we see in the lake is actually something we can stand on. So we can't stand over here, which is why we need the bridge. We can stand over here. So this is sort of like, that is the castle, that is the pillar, and then we have the laser. We can all stand here because there's beach underneath. Over here, this is where the water flows through. This is where we need a bridge. And then this again is where we can walk down on the beach. It's just that this doesn't make sense because you need a boat to get there. Seeing that, we could say it's very close to the bridge and to the left of it. At the very left of the little island. Oh. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. We could try. We can only try, I guess. Let's say that, because this was a discarded panel. This one was on the rocks very close to the edge of the beach, so that does make sense, I think. Does it also make sense for the swamps? This is all swamp territory then, where we can't walk. There's also a little bay in between the tree houses and swamps, so that makes sense. And all these little puddles are the walkways. And then there is the mountainous... No, I think it still doesn't make a lot of sense for this part. Why we couldn't walk here. But it's honestly the best bet I have. So I don't really know what else we could do. I think that's just our best shot. To try and do this one. Alright. Let's go. I really hope I just haven't missed something obvious. And I feel like I might have. Because looking at where it's probably going to be, I've been there a couple times. I really hope I didn't just overlook something very obvious. So it was going to be over here somewhere, very close to this, but all the way to the left, which would be maybe that walkway over there. Actually, do I? Oh no, is that it? Oh no. How have I just not seen this? It's not even hidden.
God bade me behold the sea, and I saw the ships sinking and the planks floating. Then the planks too were submerged. And God said to me, "Those who voyage are not saved." And he said to me, "Those who, instead of voyaging, cast themselves into the sea, take a risk." And he said to me, those who voyage and take no risk shall perish. And he said to me, in taking the risk, there is a part of salvation. And the wave came and lifted those beneath it and overran the shore. And he said to me, the surface of the sea is a gleam that cannot be reached, and the bottom is a darkness impenetrable.
Right, there's
And
3
between the
here.
two are great fishes,
This is the
which are to
castle,
be feared.
the tower in the castle in the middle.
Nefari,
This one's
970.
quite close, and this one's as well. Somewhat to the left of the tower. And then there's one near the back. Yo, Cheeky. Welcome back. So, hopefully today I'll be finishing up The Witness. As you can see, I'm now trying to get all the recordings. And then I have a few last environmental puzzles to solve for the treehouse pillar. I'm just wondering, maybe you can help me with that. What were those yellow lilies again? Because I can't remember what they did. Were they also just recordings, or were they something different? It's so good. So good. Oh, was it your birthday then? Or... This is a tower, so they should be somewhere over here. Somewhere close, probably. Can I get down there, maybe? Yeah, I think I've opened a few of those lilies in one of my previous playthroughs, but I just don't know what they did. Ah, congrats, man. Hope you had a nice birthday. There we go, that's one.
I boasted among men that I had known you. They see your pictures in all works of mine. They come and ask me, who is he? I know not how to answer them. I say, indeed, I cannot tell. They blame me, and they go away in scorn. And you sit there, smiling. I put my tales of you into lasting songs. The secret gushes out from my heart.
The ones up
They come and
high.
ask me, tell me all your meanings. I know
Oh,
not
the
how to
environmental
answer them.
puzzles?
I say,
Not yet, no.
who knows what they mean? They smile.
I know that you might have
and
to
go away
change
in
some of
scorn.
these solutions as
And
well.
you sit there smiling. Rabindranath Tagore, 1910.
Actually, can I put in subtitles? Yes. In case you guys really want to hear the philosophical, that's the one. Philosophical stories, I'll put on the subtitles. Let's see. I think there was one down on the beach as well. But there is one I'm missing that's somewhere in this general area. Because I've picked one up over there, and there was one really close, so it's somewhere over here. But I'll go back to the lake and get a better view of where it's at exactly. But I believe there was also one over here. Weirdly enough, I always thought it should have been over here. Near the couch, that would have made sense. But Apparently it doesn't make sense and it's not near the couch. Or is it? No. That's a bit odd. Maybe it's a bit further over here. I believe it was supposed to be over here. Near the beach. I think it extended beyond the castle, where it was supposed to be, but maybe it's just in that tower? I don't think it's actually on the boat itself. If it is, then we might have to use the boat to see it. But looking at the lake, it didn't look to be on the boat. Maybe on the walkway itself. Oh no, that's just a bit of sun. Thought maybe that was it. Let's see if it isn't on the castle wall. In this tower right here. Doesn't look like it. Right. Oh, there it is.
If a man, holding a belief which he was taught in childhood or persuaded of afterwards, keeps down and pushes away any doubts which arise about it in his mind, purposely avoids the reading of books and the company of men that call into question or discuss it, and regards as impious those questions which cannot easily be asked without disturbing it, the life of that man is one long sin against mankind. But, says one, I am a busy man. I have no time for the long course of study which would be necessary to make me in any degree a competent judge of certain questions, or even able to understand the nature of the arguments. Then he should have no time to believe. William K. Clifford, 1874.
Oh, it's William. William again. Right about the lake and recordings. Which ones specifically? Okay, so we picked up that one. This one is supposed to be really close to the first one we picked up. So that's exactly what I thought was gonna happen. I'm just not sure if this one is technically still in the castle or if it's in the forest. It could be just near that wall over there, but I'm not sure. This is the laser. We can sort of see maybe. Wait. Actually, that's the laser and that's the pillar. We'll be standing more over here. Apparently I did miss a recording right next to the laser. But this one is going to be at the castle then, again. Has to be, right? Just in the opposite corner. So we picked up this one near the... I mean, looking at it from the entrance, it was the far right puzzle somewhere in the walkway. So this is either going to be... which one? I think this one isn't. If it was this one, then I thought it may have been on the way to the shipwreck. This one's too close, of course, and I think this one's actually near the outer wall of the castle. Or maybe actually even the outer part of the forest here. Because this is the pillar for the tree houses. This is the laser for the tree houses. This is actually quite close. Apparently. Closer than I would thought. So then this is quite a distance. This is at least twice as far. So that must be either the outer corner of the castle, or it's in the forest itself again. Because that is the one for the quarry. I've also missed a panel, discarded panel, in a voice recording for the quarry. I think this is either this forest behind me or it's the outer edge of the castle. Let's find this one then. Yeah, let's find this one. Should be relatively close to the pillar. If we know where the pillar is, we might actually be able to discern a bit better where this one is as well. And then, yeah, I'll check the outer edge of the castle, and if it's not there, I'll check out the forest. Let's see. Let's have a look at where the pillar is, so we can maybe get a better idea of where this thing might be, the recording. So the recording I picked up and this one are on the same line, like this. This one was a bit beyond that. So let's say about 2/3 of the way from this tower to that tower. I think that works out. But it's along the outer edge of the castle, I'm pretty sure, by the looks of it. Yeah, the climbs are bunkers, and yeah, I don't know what those yellow ones were. The white ones are recordings, of course. The triangular orange leaves are the discarded panels. And the fountains are the pillars with the environmental puzzles. And then the fountains are the... Oh, sorry. The fountains are the pillars for the environmental puzzles. And then the little lamps, the little lights, are the lasers. So I picked one up over here. I think it's somewhere... It's going to be somewhere over here, or more probably around the corner. Around the corner here, maybe. It's not as if one of them is holding it, right? I did check over here. Don't see it yet. I mean, we know it's supposed to be around here somewhere. Oh, I hate it when you feel like you're very close, but you just can't quite see it. Because again, we picked up this one, and sort of over here. I think the pillar is right there. You can't go much more to the left. Looking at the tree line. Oh man. Why did they have to stash them away? Why did they have to be so small? Yes! Come on, man.
Our hangnails are incredibly real to us. Whereas to most of us, the English village of Nether Wallop and the high Himalayan country of Bhutan, not to mention the slowly swirling spiral galaxy in Andromeda, are considerably less real. Even though our intellectual selves might wish to insist that since the latter are much bigger and longer lasting than our hangnails, they ought therefore to be far realer to us than our hangnails are. We can say this to ourselves till we're blue in the face, but few of us act as if we really believed it. A slight slippage of subterranean stone that obliterates 20,000 people in some far-off land. The ceaseless plundering of virgin jungles in the Amazon basin. A swarm of helpless stars being swallowed up one after another by a ravenous black hole. Even an ongoing collision between two huge galaxies, each of which contains 100 billion stars. Such colossal events are so abstract to someone like me that they can't even touch the sense of urgency and importance, and thus the reality, of some measly little hangnail on my left hand's pinky.
The one on the
We
wall
are
you
all
found.
egocentric, and what is realist to each
It
of
was
us in the end
this one
is
that I
us.
just found on
The
the
realest things of all
backside of the
are
pillar.
my knee, my
Still
nose,
need to
my anger,
find
my
this
hunger,
one.
my toothache, my side ache, my sadness, my joy, my love for math, my abstraction ceiling, and so forth. What all these things have in common, what binds them together, is the concept of my, which comes out of the concept of I or me, and therefore, although it is less concrete than a nose or even a toothache,
Alright,
this
take
I
one more
thing
look actually.
is what ultimately seems to each of us to constitute the most solid rock of undeniability of all.
That is
Could
the
it possibly be
laser.
an illusion? Or if not a total
That
illusion,
is
could it possibly be less real
pillar.
and less solid than we think it is? Could an eye be more like an elusive, receding, shimmering rainbow
If we go
than
straight,
like a tangible, heftable, transportable
the
pot
line
of gold?
between the pillar
Douglas
and the
Hofstadter,
laser
2007.
is sort of like this. So if I go straight, I'd end up somewhere over here, I think. It might very well be in the castle wall. Ah, no worries. Yeah, it was on the back side of the pillar. They really hit that one. Bit annoying. I mean, seriously, have a look. I need to go back here anyway to check on the castle wall, so I'll give you one more look at where they stashed it. You can't say they didn't try to hide it. Look at where it is. It's in here, in between these vines. Like, come on, dude. Give me a break. They're hard to find. I mean, you weren't there like 15, 20 minutes ago. I missed one 3 times and it was in plain sight. They don't have to hide them, you know. They're hard to find already. They don't have to do me like that. Alright, let's see if it's maybe... it's probably not gonna be. No, I think you can only get up to that tower, can't you? Or it has to be somewhere over here in the window. Yeah, I was glad I just spotted it out of the corner of my eye. It could have taken me another 10 minutes. Let's see. I feel like it's probably going to be on the other side of the wall then. Unless it's hidden over here somewhere, but I don't think so. Ah, it is? Cool. Alright. I think it's going to be somewhere over here. Maybe more in the corner? Wait, what is this? Is that it?
In a sense, what modern physics is to the history of Western thought, Zen is to the development of the Eastern worldview, the ultimate refinement of more than 2,000 years of incisive debate, discussion, and critical development. Yet the difference between the two could hardly be more marked. Whereas physics is interested above all in theories, concepts, and formulas, Zen values only the concrete and the simple. Zen wants facts, not in the Western sense of things that are measurable and numerical, which are in fact abstractions, but as living, immediate, and tangible. Its approach to understanding is not to theorize, because it recognizes that previously accumulated ideas and knowledge, in other words, memories of all
Yes,
kinds,
nice. How was
block
it?
the direct perception of reality. Therefore, Zen adopts an unusual approach. Its build-up
Right.
involves language, which is unavoidable. Any method, even if it turns out to be an
There's going to be one over
is
here,
first to
which is
convey some
in
background
between this
in order to
forest
be effective.
and a castle.
But the way Zen uses language is always to point beyond language.
A clue where that could be.
beyond concepts
Somewhere
to
in the
concrete.
field, it looks like. That's
There
going to
you
be
go.
tricky to find.
1996.
We can find those two, I think. Let's try to do the tricky one first. That might take the longest. So that is where the pillar is. This is where the castle is. We kind of want to have both of them at a 90-degree angle. Oh, is that actually from Rooster Teeth? Is that what Critical Role is? I think I've only heard about that a couple times. I might be wrong about that. So it's somewhere over here almost. For a second I thought I got really lucky. Found it immediately. That's going to be annoying. I feel like if that's the pillar, that's the laser for the castle. It's going to be somewhere over here. But even if they hid it over there, they're not gonna put it like somewhere randomly in the grass, are they? It has to be on a rock or something like that. Please tell me they wouldn't do that. Yeah, I know it's D&D. It's just I think Rooster Teeth also had a D&D series. Maybe. Oh, that was called something different, wasn't it? It was I I don't know, crits and twits or something like that. Yeah, I think I've seen it pop up in my feed every now and then, but I don't think I've actually ever watched it. Yeah, I'm just sorely mistaken and it's not remotely here. I don't know, it feels like it was at a 90 degrees angle. Actually, I could compare it to that laser over there. With the monastery. Might also be a good idea. So... Let's see, I think that's the town. No, that is the town. Is it? I'm confused now. That has to be the town, right? Because... Oh, no, it isn't. That is the pillar we haven't completely solved yet. So that's the town. And then this is the monastery. It seems to be even more to the left then. It almost seems to be right in between the monastery and the pillar, and then also almost exactly in the middle lengthwise. Let's go to that pillar and see where we end up. I think it might be a bit more to the left than we were looking. So that's the pillar over there. That's the monastery. Actually, I think I was looking in the right spots. Oh, this one's going to be annoying as well, isn't it? Where is it going to be? Oh no. Again, they wouldn't do it right by just putting it in the middle of a field, in between all those rocks. Right. That's the pillar over there. There's the monastery. Where could that thing be then? I liked it when there were picnic spots or whatever. Like there'd be a blanket or a pillow and you could kind of figure it out. See what they are supposed to be. This one is so tricky to find. The glass factory, no. The glass factory is the docks near Symmetry Island, I think. If it's the one I think you mean. Right now I'm, so near the castle, near the swamps, and the monastery. Where could this one be? Just trying to think of... Actually, let me take another look at the map. It's so far from any other pod, which makes it a bit of a chore. Because, again, I think that's that laser over there. That one is that laser near the quarry. Maybe it is more near the castle then. Maybe it's actually up on the wall over there. Because if I take a look at it now, this is going to be almost a straight line. Going to be a bit to the right even. If I line these two lasers up. See? Yeah, if I line those two lasers up, you'll end up with a line almost like this into the castle. So it might be up here. If it's not, then I'm a bit lost. Don't think I've actually taken a good look here, have I? So it might actually be it. And I think was probably not going to be here, but more to the left. So it's in between the monastery laser and the treehouse pillar. Oh, please, come on, show it to me. Would have been funny if they put it in here or something. That's where I would hide something, personally. Ooh. I will stop, it's just, there's always a bit of a delay, so I don't know where you wanted me to stop specifically. Was it going to be here on the floor, maybe? Oh, where did you see it? Unfortunately, there's a bit of a delay between my screen and the stream, and then the chat. So, where did you think you see it? Okay, back up. Alright. And then to the left or to the right? On the wall, on the wall. Let's see. All the way to the left, maybe. I'll be a bit embarrassed if it is in here, in plain sight, and I just didn't see it. On the floor. Okay. Oh, there it is. Nice. Yeah, good eye.
In the traditional view, a person is free.
Thanks,
He is
Cheeky.
autonomous in the sense that
Awesome.
his behavior is uncaused. That view, together with its associated practices, must be re-examined when a scientific analysis reveals unexpected controlling relations between behavior and environment. By questioning the control exercised by autonomous man and demonstrating the control exercised by the environment, a science of behavior also seems to question dignity or worth. A person is responsible for his behavior, not only in the sense that he may be justly blamed or punished when he behaves badly, but also in the sense
Let's try to
that he
find
is
this
be
one
given
next.
credit.
I think it's still in the swamp area.
A scientific
Glad I found this
analysis
one.
shifts the credit as well as the
How
blame to the
do we
environment,
do this one?
and traditional practices can then no longer be justified. These are sweeping changes, and those who are committed to traditional theories and practices naturally resist them. As the emphasis shifts to the environment, the individual seems to be exposed to a new kind of danger.
These are the
It is to
tree
construct
houses.
the controlling environment. And
This
to what
one
end?
is not tree houses.
Autonomous man presumably
It does
controls
look
himself
like it's in the same line
built-in set of
as
values.
we just
He works for what
True.
he finds good. But what will the putative controller find good? And will it be good for those he controls?
Alright, so let's follow the same line.
Are said, of course, to call for value judgments. B.F. Skinner, 1971.
I think it's perfectly along this wall, isn't it? It only looked a bit more to the right, the previous one, because it was on the right side of this wall. On the boat, yes, both the environmental puzzle with the where you have to start with the boat and go up the buoy, and I've also picked up the one that's on a rock where you take the boat. So this one is going to be somewhere around here, but then all the way at the back. So let's use that tree as a reference point. That's sort of where we were going, I think. Maybe a bit to the right. Awesome. It's this one again. Yeah, no, the recording. I also did that one, yeah. Can we make this work? Ah, damn it. And 2, 3. There we go. It is a bit straining on the eye, this one, to solve it like that. But walking all the way around is going to be even more annoying. I like to do it this way. Yeah, I think I know the one you mean. I'll conjure up the boat when I'm there, and then I'll show you which one I mean, and then you can tell me whether that's the one you meant. He's scared. He doesn't like the gap. Right, there we go. What I think I'll be doing, once I'm on that side again, I know there's a control panel on this side which can control this bridge. I'll probably send it off to that side so I don't have to injure my eyes again when I want to travel this way. Because when it's to the left, at least when I'm here and there's no bridge, I can control it from down here. Right. So let's go like this. Oh. There we go. Right. Can't really see the castle anymore. I think it was somewhere along this line. It's probably going to be at little beachhead over here to the left. Yes, I did. I don't want to brag, but I think I did it in the 4th or 5th try. I was expecting it to be a lot worse, but yeah, I think I may have gotten a bit lucky with the labyrinth solution as well, but it wasn't too bad. It was fun, but not frustrating. It was a nice challenge, but I was making it way harder in my imaginative head than it actually was. It wasn't too bad, I think. So I feel like the recording might be here somewhere. If it's not here, oh, you can watch it back. I think it's still within the week. They can watch it back. And also, I've been downloading every stream, including the chat. So, I've never uploaded anything to YouTube either. I'm new to Twitch. I'll also be new to YouTube. But I've been downloading everything, including chat, so I can upload everything to YouTube at some point as well. So, I can't really say when I'll do that, but there is going to be a moment where I'll be uploading everything to YouTube and you can watch it back. If it's the one you mean over here, that's on that little rock over there, then yes, I did pick that one up. But yeah, right now I think it's still within the 1 week limit before it gets deleted. So you should be good. I've also I also wanted to make a clip out of it with the attempt that actually worked. It's just there was a clip of about 7 minutes, and at the very end, I don't know what went wrong when uploading it, but it's kind of glitched because it just skips half a minute, which is the half minute where I actually unlock the little box. So I might have to try and upload that clip again because it's yeah, it's a bit shitty. So where can this recording be? Can we see the castle wall again? Can't, but we can see the castle, so it's somewhere over here. I feel like the direction is sort of okay. The only thing I'm not sure about is maybe we need to use the boat again. Oh no, we don't. There we go, very nice.
We have two kinds of knowledge which I call
it's pretty hard, yeah.
and intimate.
I think I'm at
I do not
15
know whether it
now.
would be correct to say that reasoning is
But
only applicable
I've
to
had a
some
friend say that
but the more
you can
principal
use
forms of
OBS
reasoning
to add all
develop
kinds of
for
things to your stream,
symbolic knowledge only.
and that you don't necessarily have to have 50 followers to add a donation button or all kinds of neat little things. So that's nice. I'll be looking into that maybe.
Symbolism. For an illustration,
Not that I'm
let us
in
consider
it for making money, but you know, might be
I suppose
nice.
that
Get
humor can
some
be analyzed to
pocket
some
change, get a
extent
better
as
microphone because I'm still
ingredients of the
using
different
the
kinds of wit classified.
mic of the headset.
Suppose that we are offered
And
knowledge
I've been
to
listening it back,
we
and
subject it to
the audio is not
scientific
the
analysis
greatest.
as we would a chemical salt of
So maybe I'll
nature,
invest in that.
and perhaps after careful
Did buy
consideration,
a
we are able to confirm that it really
PlayStation
truly
camera as well.
is a joke.
Just not completely sure yet
Logically,
how
I suppose. A nice
okay I am
procedure
with
would be used.
filming.
But it may certainly be predicted that as the result of this scrutiny, we shall have lost all inclination we ever had to laugh at it. It simply does not do to expose the workings of a joke. The classification concerns a symbolic knowledge of humor, which preserves all the characteristics of a joke except its laughableness. The real appreciation must come spontaneously, not introspectively. I think this is a not unfair analogy for our mystical feeling for nature, and I would venture even to apply it to our mystical experience of God. There are some to whom the sense of a divine presence irradiating the soul is one of the most obvious things of experience. In their view, a man without this sense is to be regarded as we regard a man without a sense of humor. The absence is a kind of mental deficiency. We may try to analyze the experience as we analyze humor and construct a theology, or it may be an atheistic philosophy. But let us not forget that the theology is symbolic knowledge, whereas the experience is intimate knowledge. And as laughter cannot be compelled by the scientific exposition of the structure of a joke, so a philosophic discussion of the attributes of God, or an impersonal substitute, is likely to miss the intimate response of the spirit, which is the central point of the religious experience. Arthur Eddington, 1927.
That sounds pretty funny. Yeah, for me it's... Well, I mean, the camera works well enough. It was €30, so I wasn't expecting anything major, but it works well enough. The problem for me, the way my desk in my room is situated, is I'd be filming a part of my own bed, which I'm just not sure if that is too personal to either stream or to see as a viewer. Of course, I'd be making it nice and neat, but so I don't know how that comes across, if that's like too personal a space to be streaming. The filming itself, I don't think I'm opposed to that really, but it's mostly that. The funny thing is I do have what I always consider to be one of the best streaming backgrounds as well, because right above my bed I have a huge display full of my gaming steelbooks, and you're not able to see all of them on stream, as far as I could tell, but it would make for a nice backdrop, I think. Yeah, that's like the things I've been thinking about for streaming. I just wanted to look... Doesn't have to be professional, but it doesn't need to be too amateurish as well. I could also just put a couple pillows on it. It's like a built-in bed, so you could make it look like a couch, I suppose. So where is this going to be? Yeah, it's awesome. Unfortunately, the way my screen is set up, I could only film or my face and part of the display, or only the top of my head and the full display. But I think that last one's going to be, you know, it looks a bit weird. So where's this going to be? I can only assume that... Actually, I assumed wrong. This is not going to be the quarry, because that is this one. This is probably going to be the temple, isn't it? Oh, I can imagine. The way I started out with the witness, I mean, you can't watch the stream anymore. I think I did save it though, but the way I started out streaming a few weeks back was I started streaming The Witness because I wanted to show off this game. And then I have a server I made for boosting trophies, and a bunch of people in there, I just started a voice call, and they could look at the game, and then I had the voice call going on, so they could like maybe try and help me out with the solutions or whatever. But of course, every random person watching the stream heard absolutely nothing, so that was kind of... Yeah, I don't think they had a great first experience with me. Afterwards, I just figured, well, let's just use the headset and try to be a true streamer boy. And yeah, kind of stuck. We're some nice people who've been watching a lot of my streams, including you, so kind of figured, yeah, I could try to keep doing that. It was a nice incentive to just finish off the Witness finally. Anyway, I think this is Symmetry Island. That is the starting area. That's the panel near the docks. I have to do that one as well. So I feel like that's going to be the temple. And there's going to be a recording along the edge then. Ooh, this is the bunker. That's also good to know. You know where that one is? This one's going to be near the opposite edge from the bunker. Let's get another view of it. So, going from the pillar straight down, and then the laser is just to the left of us. Alright, cool. But it's near the edge of the island. So since this is one of my favorite topics, do you guys collect anything? Either game related or something else? With the right people, do you mean the right people or not enough people? Because, I mean, I don't think The Witness is a game that reaches a lot of people, but it's something I wanted to play, and that feels, I don't know, I like doing something I want to do instead of something that has to be popular per se. I don't think I've ever played the popular games when they were popular, to be honest. It's also due to having a huge backlog. Don't always have time to do them. Hey, Charcoal, welcome back. Is there a recording here, maybe? Alright. Sailor Moon. Is that a game series or an anime? I mean, I've heard of it. I'm also really bad with, like, anything that isn't games. That's pretty much the only media I consume. So, excuse me if it's a stupid question. Not any hints, more so good eyes. Because I've been trying to find the recordings mostly. I just need to finish up the recordings, then just the treehouse pillar left, and then 4 environmental puzzles for the town, which include the theater and the gate, and yeah, just a few more discarded panels as well. So we're getting close. I was hoping of finishing it up today. I think that might just be too bit a tall order. Might need 2, but made some good progress. We picked up a few recordings. So this is the bunker. I feel it's not going to be on the beach. It's more not going to be down here, but more so either here or near the tree, maybe? I can't remember. Was it the pillar, like going straight from the pillar, was it laser to the left of us or to the right? I feel like it was to the left, but I might be mistaken. Ah, alright, well. I mean, again, I need good eyes mostly because there was one on the walkway near the tree houses, which I think I must have walked past it 3 times, and it wasn't even hidden, and I just completely missed it. On the other hand, I found one that was hidden in between some vines on a pillar near the castle. I did spot that one, so it's a bit hit or miss today, it seems. Can I walk onto this and then maybe see something? Or here? I feel like it has to be somewhere near here, because we're very close to the edge, which works out. Oh, actually, that'd be yes.
I maintain that the cosmic
Wait,
religious
why is this
feeling is the
orange
strongest
instead
and
of
noblest
green,
area
by the
for
way? Aren't they
scientific
supposed to be
research.
green? You picked them up?
Only those who realize the immense efforts and, above all, the devotion without which pioneer work in theoretical science cannot be achieved are able to grasp the strength of the emotion out of which alone such work, remote as it is from the immediate realities of life, can issue. What a deep conviction of the rationality of the universe, and what a yearning to understand, were it but a feeble reflection of the
I have
mind
no
revealed in
idea,
Kepler,
by the way, why people
and
call
Newton must
Jonathan
have
Blow
had
a bit
to
of a
enable them to
pretentious
spend
git.
years of solitary labor
No clue
disentangling
at
the
all.
principles of celestial mechanics. Those whose acquaintance with scientific research is derived chiefly from its practical results easily develop a completely false notion
Right,
of the
this...
mentality of the men who
Oh, I think I do know maybe what the yellow ones are.
spirits scattered wide through the world and through the
Or not.
centuries. Only one
Wait.
who has devoted his life to similar ends can have a vivid realization of what has inspired these men and given them the strength to remain true to their purpose in spite of countless failures. It is cosmic religious feeling that gives a man such strength. A contemporary has said, not unjustly, that in this materialistic age of ours, the serious scientific workers are the only profoundly religious people. Albert Einstein, 1930.
Right, I was gonna say maybe the yellow ones are the beehive-like puzzles, and it tracks which ones you've solved, but I've done none of them. And there are 2 yellow lilies over here. So, I'm back to having no clue what they do. Do you have any idea, Charcoal, what those represent? Yeah, I call them beehives because they're 2 hexagons on top of each other. It's the puzzles you need for the theater. To start the movies. But of course also, if they were that, then there would be a yellow lily above every clam. Which is not the case. So I don't know really what they represent, these yellow ones. Alright, we've cleared that whole section over there. Oh no, we haven't. I would have almost missed that one. Ah, alright. So, that is the laser behind me for the forest. There's a recorder right next to it. Then there's the quarry with a discarded panel and a recorder quite close to that. So let's check this one first. This one should be relatively easy to find. We hope. It's not going to be. It's not going to be. We know this game well enough. It's not going to be easy to find. In theory, it should be really close. It's not going to be up here, right? Because I think we went there and there was nothing. Oh man. Thought this one was going to be easy pickings, but course not. I mean, you're fine to interject whenever you want, as long as you give me a bit of a chance. But yeah, once I start crying, you can help me for sure. Yeah, it's no, not really a timer, but give it 2 minutes or something. So again, this is the laser, this is recording. So I should be really close. That's the quarry, that's no problem. It's weird, it's so close that you'd almost think it's laying right next to it, right? Yeah, it has to be laying right next to it. There's nothing here, and it's to this side, so it has to be inside, I think. Oh, there we go. Nice.
66 times have these eyes beheld the changing scene of autumn. I have said enough about moonlight. Ask no more. Only listen to the voice of pines.
Alright, it's
and
the
cedars
quarry
when
now.
no wind stirs.
Trying to find the discarded panel.
Leonin, 1711.
If you look at this position and the laser for the quarry, this might actually be... So I feel like it's either in the shed to the right there, or it's in that area. Let's have a look. Actually, give me 5 more seconds. Gonna see. So I think relatively speaking, the panel is the easiest one to find. The recording's going to be to the right of it and a bit further away from the laser. Alright, cool. I like the irony how the panels are way bigger than the recordings, but on the lake map they're actually smaller. Alright, so we're looking for a discarded panel. Don't think there was one over here, to be honest. Then it has to be either here or up there. I'll have a look. Don't think there is a discarded panel here. So it was a bit more to the right and then below. So it is possible that the recording is in here and the panel is in that area. It is possible. But I feel like it's the best course to find it by just looking at the panel first. Trying to find that. Unless I could just immediately spot it over here somewhere. I also never got this. Like, is there a point to this being blocked? Or... I don't think I see anything. Right, let's go down. It's also not going to be here, right? That would be such a dick move if they hide it somewhere around this corner or something. Oh, right. Okay. Alright, let's find a panel. I think I've seen this discarded panel before. I just can't remember where it is exactly. But I feel like it was in this area somewhere. Can't stand on top of this, right? Where was that discarded panel again? I mean, we've been in here for a recording last time. So it's not going to be here. That was that one. This one I think I did leave unsolved, yes. Because on the lake it's still a bright orange leaf. Where was it? Ah, the one in the container. That was the one you were thinking of. Right, okay. It's not that one. At least I found that one. Took me a while. I don't know if I've ever actually been up there, even in previous playthroughs. I think I've just never noticed that container. Yeah, that was my next thought. I could use that to see how far away to the right it is. I think at some parts of the map, the lake might be just a bit crooked, that it doesn't match up perfectly. That might also just be a very good excuse to divert the blame from myself. But let's not mention that. Oh. So this was the container, I believe. We solved that one. This one's more the... Oh, I remember where it is now. Yeah, this panel is up on the roof of the quarry over there. And then this one is going to be... I mean, it might even be up on that ridge over there, or near the tree. Yeah, I remember now. Right, okay. Don't know if I've ever seen a recording, but I do know where the panel is. And according to the map, I think we can just about see from here. This is recording, and looking from here, it's going to be a bit more away from the laser, so further towards the beach, and then a bit more to the right when we look that way from the panel. So the panel is going to be up here somewhere. Question is, how much to the right from the panel is it? Like, can it only be up here somewhere, or can it be somewhere down there in the building as well? That's the biggest question. Alright, solve that one. Now we need to find... It could be the tree if you see a position. The tree serves no other purpose except for maybe a couple, visual jokes. It might also be a good place to stash a recording. If it is over here, it's going to be tricky with all the crevices. Yeah, fortunately the game won't let you. Because there have been instances where I've been wedging myself into the spot so much that I would have actually fallen off. Let's see. I think this is actually too far. I think it's going to be closer to where the panel was. So I could check around here maybe, see if I get a bit lucky, but I think it might be somewhere in the building. Unfortunate. That's going to cost me a few more minutes then. Statue. I think I know which one you mean. I don't know why, but I also feel like at some point I had to do something with this. I don't know. Maybe maybe that's something I remembered from trying. I think I've tried to find something in here before as well. This is a statue, but I don't think it's the statue you mean. I think it was one of these ones. Ah, there it is. Yeah, I actually do remember this one now.
What is divine in man is elusive and impalpable, and he is easily tempted to embody it in a concrete form, a church, a country, a social system, a leader,
hey, Otter.
so that he may realize.
Welcome back, man. Yeah, I'm trying to finish it up.
Yet, the attempt to externalize the
and I'm just now trying to do all the recordings, because in all fairness, they're the most boring ones to do, so I wanted to get them out of the way. And then I'll get back to the last few environmental puzzles near the treehouse and the shipwreck. And then I'll do the 6 puzzles in the tunnels near the theater.
1944.
And then I'll finish up the game. But I thought I may have been able to do that today. I think it's just a little bit too much to do for one day, for one stream. We'll give it a try. So these 2 ones, I may actually know where they are. I know this one. This one's hidden quite well, but I think I remember where this one was last time when I saw its position, and this one I'm not too sure. So Otter, are you able to tell me what those yellow lilies are as opposed to the white ones? No, the white ones are recordings, but I'm not sure about the yellow ones. Are they recordings as well, or what's the distinction? Ah, alright. So, what's the distinction, apart from the color of the recording itself? Because I have noticed that most of them are green, but a couple of them are yellow, orangish. But I don't really know what that means. This is just meaningless. Here's one.
Formerly, you appeared to me, O Lord, as invisible by every creature because
as far
you are
as
hidden,
I know,
infinite God.
Or as far as everyone knows.
However, is incomprehensible by every means of comprehending. Later, you appeared to me as visible by all. For a thing
You guys want me to finish this recording, or can I pick it up?
And it would
Your
not
call.
actually exist unless it saw you. For your vision confers being, since your vision is your essence. Thus, my God, you are equally invisible and visible. As you are invisible.
Alright, I'll
As the creature is, which
give it
exists
a
only insofar
30
as the
seconds
creature
more,
sees you.
then I
You
think
are
I've had
visible.
enough.
You, therefore, my invisible God, are seen by all, and in all sight you are seen by everyone who sees. You who are invisible, who are both absolute from everything visible and infinitely super-exalted, are seen in every visible thing and in every act of vision. Therefore,
She
I must
just
leap
keeps
across
going.
this wall of invisible vision
She just keeps going.
to where you are to be found. But this wall is both
Oh my.
everything and nothing. For you, who confront as if you were both all things and nothing at all,
Yeah, I'm quite curious to see who had this brain fart as well.
by its own power. Nicholas of Cusa,
Oh, Nicholas.
1453. One
Alright.
nature, perfect and pervading,
This we can
circulates in
start
all
walking
natures.
now.
One reality, all comprehensive, contains within itself all realities. The one moon reflects itself wherever there is a sheet of water, and all the moons and the waters are embraced within the one moon. The
Ellie,
absolute of all the Buddhas enters
this is
into
not
my
The
own
Last of Us, Bokey.
and my own being is found in union with theirs. The inner light is beyond praise and blame.
Or is it the same
Like
person?
space,
Same
it
voice
knows
actor?
No boundaries. Yet it is even here, within us, ever retaining its serenity and fullness. It is only when you hunt for it, you lose it.
Ah, okay.
You cannot
I
take
just
hold
heard that it's also the same
of it, you cannot get rid of it.
voice actor
can do
from
neither.
Critical Role?
It
Or was
goes
that
on
another woman?
its own way. You
think,
remain silent, and it speaks.
I think Cheeky Moon
You
said that it
speak,
was Ashley from
and it is
Critical
done.
Role.
The great
So,
gate of charity
where is
wide
the
open.
bunker?
No obstacles before it. Yongcha Tashi, circa
Oh,
70.
Jiangcha Tashi. Of course. Isn't it funny how it always seems like voice actors in games are like 3 people on the whole planet who do every single game? This is going to be really specific, but the Dutch version of Heavy Rain also has a voice actor as the origami killer, as someone who does a lot of commercials in Dutch as well. But I recognized his voice from the game before I recognized his voice from anything else he did, which was quite weird. Right, anyway, so this is the pillar, then this is the bunker. Question is, which bunker is this? Oh, it's underneath a windmill, maybe. That seems likely. Was there a bunker-ish puzzle in the windmill? I think there might have been. And if there is, there should be a recording like in the same room, because it's hovering exactly above it. It's in line, pillar to pillar. It's just a tiny bit off to the left. I feel like that has to be... Wait. That is a town. But that's that pillar. It's just a bit to the left. So this is what I keep saying. It feels like the map at certain points is a bit crooked. Because if that is that pillar, and it almost seems like at a different spot. That it's not going to be the windmill. But that it's somewhere to the left. Actually, that might be the case, because there is a path going from the laser underneath my feet here. And there was a door that wasn't opened. I think we can access it through the windmill. It's just not, you know, it's not pointing to the windmill itself as the entrance. We have to go to the right a little bit, I think. I hope so. At least if we find what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think I did. I think I've opened all those doors now. So we should be able to get in here. Yes. Alright. So the recording should be exactly there. Nice.
I thought my voyage
This
had come to
is
its end,
the gate
at the last
that
limit of my
we'll do
power,
at the very end.
that the path before me was closed, the provisions exhausted, and the time come to take shelter in silent obscurity. But I find that thy will knows no end in me, and when words die out on the tongue, new melodies break forth from the heart. And where old tracks are lost, new country is revealed with its wonders.
Yeah, because I think they are not technically, the clams are not technically the bunkers, but the clams are the little boxes that open up like a clam with the solutions inside. So I think they are not the bunkers themselves, but the actual box inside the bunkers. That's my theory, at least. Right, I know what this one is. And then there is... Ooh, I might need your guys' help with this recording, actually. Huh, interesting. I didn't cut it off, I swear. Maybe it's like one of those unknown quotes. But it was a rather specific quote. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe it was Jonathan Blow himself. Right, I know what this panel is, but yeah, again, this one, that might be tricky to find. It seems to be in one line with the bunker going towards the edge of the docks there, but not completely sure where that might be. Yeah, the panel is on the roof of the docks. So you can see that staircase over there. It's down that staircase and then it's on that ridge over there. So the bunker is over here. Inside this, I think. Yes, sir. So you think it is sort of over here, maybe? Maybe a bit further? I thought it might have been here, but I don't think it is. That was also a thought of mine, yeah. But I thought this was a little bit too close to the bunker on the map. But that's also a good spot to check. Unless I missed something obvious again. I don't think I see it. Oh god. We're at the point where AI has to explain philosophical stuff to us now. I'm both liking and not liking where this is going. The one thing that sets us apart from the robots, for damn sake. they start being philosophical now as well, we might be in trouble. I don't think it's here, in all honesty. It's also not on here or something. That would have been a proper dick move if they just put it on the top of that ledge. Alright, I'll pick up the panel at least. And you guys can take a good hard long think about where that recording might be. I'm clueless about that one. I don't think I've ever found that one. I think I've searched all over and I just wasn't able to find it in previous playthroughs. You saw it just now, or you've seen it before? I mean, I'm okay to... Oh, you did? In the White Hut. Wasn't here, right? Let's see. So you saw it just now. Was it in a hut or was it somewhere else? Second foot of color panels. I think it might have been just the sun on this little stone. Oh, actually no. You're right about that. Man. Good spot. Good eye.
Wolfgang Pauli.
How did I miss this? I've walked around here multiple times. I mean, you can see how I've missed it. Let's focus on this ledge over here. They just tucked it on here. Thanks, man. Good spot.
Pursuing its regular course in space and time, independently of any kind of observing subject. This has been the guiding image of modern science. At the other extreme is the idea of a subject, mystically experiencing the unity of the world and no longer confronted by an object or by any objective world. This has been the guiding image of Asian mysticism.
Nice, man.
Our thinking moves somewhere in the middle, between these two limiting conceptions. We should maintain the tension.
This one should be really close, but of course it could be on the ground. Same for this one.
1974.
There is that panel over there. Is that the one? Is that the one in the container near the beach? I think it might be, but it might have also been this one. Oh, these two are easy. Actually, this one... No, I think this one might be quite easy. I think I might know where this one is. Because I picked one up. There's... Alright, I'll just walk towards it actually. Let me just take a second look. This one's to the left of the pillar, really close. This one's close to a panel. There's also that panel. I don't know if I've solved that. I mean, I haven't solved that one. But I wonder which one that is. And then there's 3 more recordings over there. I assume these to, for the most part, be underground, but I'm not completely sure. We'll see. There's also this one. I think that's the little extra island. And I know I've picked this one up before, but last stream I was just wandering about over there. and I just couldn't find it. Alright, let's try to solve these 5 recordings and this panel. Right, lots to do. Let's go to the pillar real quick first. See if it's up top or down below. If it's up top, we should be able to find it rather quickly. This is the pillar. So then the recording should be somewhere over here. That's just a leaf, isn't it? Probably going to be down there, am I right? So, I feel like... Yeah, I feel like I do know this one if I haven't picked it up already. It could also be one of the 2 yellow ones, but if it's not, then there should be one over there. It doesn't look like I've picked it up already, doesn't it? We can do it, just to make sure.
The concept of a clock enfolds all succession in time.
Yeah, I've done this
In the
one before.
concept, the 6th hour is not earlier than the 7th or 8th. Although the clock never strikes the hour, save when the concept biddeth. Nicholas of Cusa, 1450.
Oh, Nicholas had a lot of quotes.
Yeah. Well, I have some ideas about it, and I just wanted to give it a try. See how it goes?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
What are the Cusa pieces? What kind of ideas?
I don't know. Subconscious drives, right? Like, with anything creative.
Buddy Nick, yeah.
Did you feel this way before your trip to the island? Or after?
Well,
I think I've also picked one up before
after.
here somewhere.
Yeah, mostly after. I had a seed of it before, even back when I first heard the piece, when you first picked it out. But I didn't really notice then.
Oh, flashbacks.
It's like
Trauma.
The Princess and the Pea. I don't mean to be stepping on your toes, though. Really, the drive is personal. I wanted to record this one so I can hear it the way I want to hear it. Just to set something right for myself.
Okay. I'm gonna file this under the category of good problems to have. Attitude to the piece changed or clarifying this may be based on the trip. That means it's working. Something's working, right? Maybe. Back when we started, I would have counted us lucky to ever get this far.
But here we are.
Record away. And I will take my leave. Thanking you for this opportunity to...
I don't think there's anything in here, right? Alright, let's go back, because
You're welcome.
we're getting towards the mountain now, I think. Alright, I'll take another look at those flowers. Yeah, these ones might be tricky, because instead of being in one spot, they could both be above ground or underground. And even then, the directions are vague at best with those flowers. Let's see, we took... could take a left this time. I think we... Oh no, we didn't come through here. Can I see something maybe? Oh, this is where we were last time. It's not going to be here either, I think. I mean, there could be one in the cinema itself. I wouldn't find that too odd. There's actually one inside the cinema. But that's annoying. I knew about this one, but that's one I've... Yeah, that is true. So, let's go to the lake again. So I believe this was a yellow one we've solved. I believe it was this one that I just picked up. Either one. So this one's directly towards the coast. And this one, again, I'm not completely sure whether this can even be underground. It would also be good to check out which panel this one is. I think this one is the one in the container, really close to the coastline and the dock. And then it would be looking at it from the docks, it should be to the left. Let's check out those two. Then check which panel that one is that I have solved. So, it's on the ground here.
Your question is the most difficult in the world. It is not a question I can answer simply with yes or no. I am not an atheist. I do not know if I can define myself as a pantheist. The problem involved is too vast for our limited minds. May I not reply with a parable? The human mind, no matter how highly trained, cannot grasp the universe. We are in the position of a little child entering a huge library filled with books in many languages. The child knows someone must have written those books.
I mean,
does not know how.
It's
interesting. Does not understand the languages in which they are written.
Might be true.
The child dimly suspects a mysterious order in the arrangement of the books, but doesn't know what that is.
Let's check if there's any other yellow ones for those two.
Is the attitude of the most intelligent human toward God. Albert Einstein.
Actually, could be onto something there, because this one was underground that we picked up because it was right near the puzzle. And that one that I just activated another time was underground. I think the other one might very well be as well. That would help a lot if I knew that. Because I could scrap a bunch of these. Instead of having to look throughout the whole mountain, I could go, oh, these are all somewhere at the top. I think a lot of these are actually near the gate, aren't they? Just haven't picked those up yet. And then those would be underground. It does make sense. It does make sense if that would be the case. It would also explain why I have not done a lot of those yellow ones. It's a good theory. Right, so this one, let's just assume that that is how it works. These are going to be, I think this one's going to be the church maybe, and these two are going to be the other two buildings. Like you can just see a piece of it over there. Maybe, yeah. This one's going to be interesting. It's to the left of the panel we just visited, because that was the one we solved. I have still to solve this one. I'm not completely sure where it is, but I'm pretty sure we'll find it somehow. Yeah, let's try to find this one. So it's sort of in between the panel and the pillar, and supposedly it's above ground. Alright. Also, we activated either this one or this one just now. It's going to be closer, like right underneath it. So we went inside in this brownish building, and it is right there where we picked up one. So supposedly this one is either here in this building, or it could be upstairs here. For position, that kind of makes sense if it's over here. Do we see anything? Nothing on here as well, is there? Oh, I see it. There we go.
The concept of a clock enfolds all succession in time. In the
Wow.
concept, the 6th hour is not earlier than the 7th or 8th.
Actually impressed with myself
The
for a
clock
little bit
never
there.
strikes the hour, save
'Cause I don't
for
think there's
concept
another
of
spot
death.
you could stand in where you can see this thing.
Nicholas of Cusa, 1450.
Big Nick at it again. Right, and the other ones I think are going to be either in this building or this building. We're two really close to each other. And probably one in a church. So let's check the church tower. I feel like that might be a good spot to hide one. Indeed.
Oh, my God. How does it happen in this poor old world? That thou art so great, and yet nobody finds thee. That thou callest so loudly, and nobody hears thee. That thou art so near, and nobody feels thee.
Hello.
That thou givest thyself to everybody, and nobody knows thy name. Men flee from thee, and say they cannot find thee. They turn their backs and say they cannot see thee. They stop their ears and say they cannot hear thee.
These are going to be 5 very
Circa 50.
boring minutes. Because I need to stand here to pick them up as well.
Imagine if
Actually, I might
all the tumult of the body was
search
to be
another
down,
one in the meantime.
along with all
You know
our
what
busy
this one
thoughts
is.
about earth, sea, and air.
Did I?
If the very
It's
world
the right
should
one.
stop, and the mind cease thinking about itself, go beyond itself, and be quite still. If all the fantasies that appear in dreams and imagination should cease, and there be no speech.
This is a monastery, so it's probably inside
Imagine
a
if all
monastery.
things that are perishable grew still. For if we listen, they are saying, we did not make ourselves. He made us who abides forever. Imagine then that they should say this and fall silent, listening to the very voice of him who made them, and not to that of his creation, so that we should hear not his word through the tongues of men, nor the voice of angels, nor the clouds' thunder, nor any symbol, but his very self, which in these things we love, and go beyond ourselves to attain a flash of that eternal wisdom which abides above
Hey,
all
Raz.
things. And
Welcome,
imagine
dude.
if that moment were to go on and on, leaving behind all other sights and sounds but this one vision, which ravishes and absorbs and fixes the beholder in joy, so that the rest of eternal life were like that
I
moment
feel
of
like I've picked this
illumination
one up
which
before
leaves
as
us
well.
breathless. Would this not
Yeah,
be what
thanks,
is
man.
written in
Thanks
the
for
scripture? Enter thou
giving me a
into the
view.
joy of thy Lord.
Appreciate that.
Augustine of Hippo, circa 400.
Gosh, imagine being called Hippo. That being your actual name, that's harsh. So, the laser is over here. I feel like it was sort of in this direction from that one. Oh. Do you have your notifications set to on then? Because I know that I got an email from Twitch with all kinds of statistics, so I know not everyone has their notifications turned on, but the vast majority has. That might be it. But again, clueless about how Twitch actually works. I'm just messing about here. Oh, I know, the hippodrome, etc. I just find it funny. So, where could it be? Maybe I'm too focused on it being over here. Maybe it could be over here. But I feel that, relatively speaking, it was to the right of me from the laser. I was quite close, but maybe it was outside. I think I've done this one before as well, and I feel like it might be outside here somewhere. Where could it be? It's almost like Easter eggs, man. Just have to look in every nook and cranny and hope that you get a bit lucky. I didn't know you could stand over here. Maybe that is something you have to use. Don't see anything though. Oh, maybe this. Oh, wait. I think you're meant to use this position as the shadow of the first window puzzle. Of course. Which one is the first? Do you mean the most right one? Or the most left one? Or the other side? Those are close, actually. I don't think there's anything here. Don't think there's anything here. Oh, this one, then probably. Give me either this one or to the left here. Don't think there is anything here. I mean, I could take another look at the lake and see where it is. I mean, see where I think it might be. At least from here, walking to the lake is rather quick instead of having to go all the way across the island. So, could also use this. So, looking from the pillar towards the laser, it's sort of to the left. Is that a 45-degree angle? Almost 45 degrees, I think. So let's take a look. Go towards the pillar. So it's the line like that. And then from there it's 45 degrees. Can we actually go down there right away? I think we have to move all the way around, don't we? Not even here, right? That is a bit annoying. Right. We'll make it work somehow. I'm convinced that it is somewhere over here, actually. I don't know why, but I feel like that's where I got it all those years back. I just don't remember whether it was really well hidden or sort of in plain sight. Right, let's see, where's the pillar? That's the pillar. And from there on out, it's that line to the laser. And then it was a 45-degree turn, which is somewhere over here, I think. This way. So it could be inside here in this corner, but I think it's more likely that it's going to be outside here somewhere. If one of you guys knows where it is, then I wouldn't be opposed to you giving me a hint, though. It's well hidden. Alright. Oh, really? It's okay. Alright. Well, thanks for telling me. That could have taken a lot longer before I was going to try that. Sorry if I'm yawning a bit every now and then, by the way. I had a bit of a short night. I needed to play tennis in the morning. Already I had a little bit of a short sleep, but also I'm absolutely knackered. I've had an injury for about a year now, so I've not played tennis for a year, literally a year. So now I played around 2 hours, 2.5. Luckily, no pain, no anything with my injury, so that's really nice. But yeah, it did really cost a bit of me. Ooh, okay, I see. That is well hidden.
There is nothing in existence but veils hung down.
Thanks, Otter. I could have taken a bit.
Attach themselves only to veils, which leave traces in the owner of the eye that perceives them. Bin Arabi 1231.
Right, now for these two. And this one should be relatively easy to find. These two are going to be more interesting. I don't think this log actually means anything for the map, does it? I think this is just decoration. Yellow, but not on lake. I think that one was green. I think it was green. So let's see that. Okay. Again, this is sort of a, I don't know, 30-degree angle, something like that. Most embarrassing. I don't think I really have a lot of embarrassing ones. I think you could count My Name is Mayo 1 as embarrassing, but I, you know, kind of have fun with that. Just for €1 or 90 cents, I wasn't expecting a whole lot. Got a couple chuckles out of it. I didn't really play it for the cheap platinum though. It was more so I heard the game has a few chuckles worth of jokes, so kind of played that. Platinum was nice, but not the reason I played it. So you could also say that from is it hentai versus evil? How could we solve this one? We could maybe say like from that pillar over there towards the jungle, and then follow that line and then a bit to the left. Yeah, it was actually funny, which is different to me than what was it, like the tennis ball T and the basketball B and that kind of shit. Those are just cheap plats and there's nothing else. It doesn't have any redeeming qualities other than being a cheap plat. I don't like that, but yeah. I feel like My Name is Mayo kind of was funny. Oh no. How's this one gonna work? Wait, where I keep going back and forth towards the lake. Sorry. Actually, did I do the second one in the church as well? Must not forget that one. Have I? Have I? Oh, I've not. Okay, so I need to do the left one as well. Right. And then I could also say from the church it's a straight line to this little beachhead over here. And there's two right next to each other. And from that beachhead... Nah, actually. I don't know how I should look for these. It should be somewhere close to this island part with the castle and such. It's actually pretty close to the pillar, isn't it? It is actually quite close. It should be right next to each other, much like the church one. Alright. Well, not looking. They are somewhere in the middle of this section. Let's do the church one first before I forget that one. I think I needed the left one. That's the word, the peninsula, yeah.
The universe beyond man. To contemplate what it would be like without man. as it was in a great part of its long history and as it is in a great majority of places. When this objective view is finally attained, and the mystery and majesty of matter are fully appreciated,
There's one.
to then
There's
turn
two.
the objective eye back on man,
Okay, that was
life as
easy.
this universal mystery of the greatest depth is to sense an experience which is very rare and very
I'll go
exciting.
find the other one then.
It usually ends in laughter and a delight in the futility of trying to understand what this atom in the universe is. This thing
It was
atoms
relatively
with
tucked away in a
curiosity that
corner
looks at
here,
itself
wasn't it?
and wonders why it wonders. Well, these scientific views end in awe and mystery, lost at the edge in uncertainty, but they appear to be so deep and so impressive that the theory that it is all arranged as a stage for God to watch man struggle for good and evil seems inadequate. Some will tell me that I have just described a religious experience. Very well, you may call it what you will. Then, in that language, I would say that the young man's religious experience is of such a kind that he finds the religion of his church inadequate to describe, to encompass that kind of experience. The God of the church isn't big enough.
I mean, I'd like to know you guys' Rarest Platinums, Bandit Otter, and Cheeky Moon is still watching. I think for me the rarest plat... It's a good question actually. I think I've looked it up before on PSN profiles, but I'm not completely sure anymore which one it is. I mean, one has to be the rarest, right? Oh, there it is. Oh, you play on PC? Ah, okay,
Lord
fair enough.
God, helper of those who seek you, I see you in the garden of paradise, and I do not know what I see, because I see nothing visible. I know this alone, that I know that I do not know what I see, and that I can never know. I do not know how to name you, because I do not know what you are. Should anyone tell me that you
I
are
don't
named
think
by
I
this
really
or
have
that
any
name,
super
the fact that one gives a name,
rare
I know that
platinums.
it is not your name. For the wall
I
beyond
mean,
which I
there's a
see
difference,
is a
of course,
limit of
between
every mode of
PlayStation
signification
profiles
by names.
and the
Should
rarity
anyone
on there
express any
with
concept
the
by which you
trophy
have
hunting
been
crown
conceived, I know that
and
this
the
concept is not a concept
rarity
of you,
that PlayStation
for every
tells you,
concept finds its
which
own
includes
at the
all
wall of
players.
paradise.
Because of course,
Should anyone express any likeness and say
you
that
know,
you ought
amongst
to be
the trophy
conceived
hunters,
according to it,
completion
I know in
rate's
the
a lot
same way
higher.
that this is not a likeness of you. So too, if anyone, wishing to furnish the means by which you might be understood, should set forth an understanding
Still
of
haven't found this panel, have
one
I?
is still far removed from you. For the highest
If that's
wall
a
separates you
tower,
from all these,
it's a
and secludes
monastery.
you from everything that can be said or thought, because you are absolute from all the things that can fall within any concept.
That's a monastery.
Nicholas of Cusa, 1453.
Nicholas, man, you had so much free time on your hands. Right, so from the tower, the monastery, it's to the right, then. I don't know what kind of island or land Kusa was, but it must have been a really chill place if he had that much time on his hand. I mean, they called him a great thinker, not a fast one. Where's that panel? Oi, where's that bloody panel? Why doesn't this one have borders, by the way? That's the lasers. I think we have to be a bit further away from it. Or not. Or not. Yes. I think like this. Yay. Cue the Dora song where they say we did it. Alright, let's activate at least one of these two. I'll find some more.
The glass is transparent, the wine transparent.
That's already wrong.
The two are similar, the affair confused.
Mine's not
There
transparent.
seems to be wine and no glass. Or glass and no wine. Sahib bin Abad, circa 990.
They had some really shit wine for Sabine Ibn Abbad, whatever his name was. It's not supposed to be transparent. Or is it actually rose water? Maybe that tracks a bit more. Right, so we know that one. Is it? It's still not see-through, is it? Not the way glass is. Right, where could this one be? Where could this one be? So this is the bunker. I think this is Beachhead. I mean, I'm not saying milky, but it's not exactly see-through, right? This white wine I've seen not isn't not. To be fair, I don't drink any alcohol, so maybe I'm just confused. In which case, I'm sorry for being pedantic. Sorry, even about. So this one looked to be around this corner, right? I do remember picking something up over here. I think it might be on one of those rocks. I'm just not sure. Did we need the boat to actually see one? Or was it closer to here? Wait, why is this thing orange? Did it get sunbaked, maybe?
One day,
Completely
I happened to be
braised.
occupied with the subject of generation of waves by wind. I took down the standard treatise on hydrodynamics, and under that heading I read, if the external forces P prime sub YY, P prime sub XY be given multiples of e to the ikx plus at, where k and
I
a
like
are
this.
described,
It's
the
nice.
equations in question determine a and c, and thence, by 9, the value of eta. And so on for 2 pages. At the end, it is made clear that a wind of less than half a mile an hour will leave the surface unruffled. At a mile an hour, the surface is covered with minute corrugations due to capillary waves which decay immediately if the disturbing cause ceases. At 2 miles an hour, the gravity waves appear. As the author modestly concludes, our theoretical investigations give considerable insight into the incipient stages of wave formation. On another occasion, the same subject of generation of waves by wind was in my mind, but this time another book was more appropriate, and I read, "There are waters blown by changing winds to laughter, and lit by the rich skies all day, and after, frost, with a gesture, stays the waves that dance, and wandering loveliness. He leaves a white, unbroken glory, a gathered radiance, a width, a shining peace under the night." The magic words bring back the scene. Again, we feel nature drawing close to us, uniting with us, till we are filled
If it's
with
not finished by the
long
time we
waves
cross that
dancing in the
path,
sunshine.
we're just going to move on,
The awe
because
of
we
the
probably have
moonlight
to
frozen lake.
come back to the lake a couple
These were not
times as well.
moments when we felt below
So,
ourselves.
we'll pick it up at some point.
We did not look back on them and say, It was disgraceful for a man with 6 sober senses and a scientific understanding to let himself be deluded in that way. I will take Lamb's hydrodynamics with me next time. It is good
My ear.
that there should be such moments for us. Life would be stunted and narrow if we could feel no significance in the world around us beyond that which can be weighed and measured with the tools of the physicist, or described by the metrical symbols of the mathematician. Of course, it was an illusion. We can easily expose the rather clumsy trick that was played on us. Ethereal vibrations of various wavelengths, reflected at different angles from the disturbed interface between air and water, reached our eyes, and by photoelectric action caused appropriate stimuli to travel along the optic nerves to a brain center. Here, the mind set to work to weave an impression out of the stimuli. The incoming material was somewhat meager, but the mind is a great storehouse of associations that could be used to clothe the skeleton. Having woven an impression, the mind surveyed all that it had made and decided that
It's
it was
not
very
up
good.
there, is it? Because if it
Critical
is,
faculty
that
was
would be
lulled. We ceased
annoying.
to analyze and were conscious only of the impression as a whole. The warmth of the air, the scent of the grass, the gentle stir
I
of the
hope it's
breeze,
somewhere near that
combined
door.
with the visual scene in one transcendent impression, around us and within us. Associations emerging from their storehouse grew bolder. Perhaps we recalled the phrase, rippling laughter. Waves, ripples, laughter, gladness. The ideas jostled one another. Quite illogically, we were glad. Though what there can possibly be to be glad about in a set of ethereal vibrations no sensible person can explain. A mood of quiet joy suffused the whole impression. The gladness in ourselves was in nature, in the waves, everywhere. That's how it was. It was an illusion. Then why toy with it longer?
How long is this one, really?
The mind, when we do not keep it severely in order, projects into the external world.
I like how they pause for a few seconds and you feel relieved, like, oh, finally,
Get
it's
back to the
over.
solid substance of things,
And then
to
they
the
get
material
back
of
at you with a
water moving under
vengeance.
The pressure of the wind and the force of gravitation, in obedience to the laws of hydrodynamics. But the solid substance of things is another illusion. It too is a fancy projected by the mind into the external world. We have chased the solid substance from the continuous liquid to the atom, from the atom to the electron, and there we have lost it. But at least it will be said, we have reached something real at the end of the chase, the protons and electrons. Or, if the new quantum theory condemns these images as too concrete and leaves us with no coherent images at all, at least we have symbolic coordinates and momenta and Hamiltonian functions, devoting themselves with single-minded purpose to ensure
For
that
real.
P minus PQ shall be equal to IH over 2 pi. I have tried to show that by following this course we reach a cyclic scheme which, from its very nature, can only be a partial expression of our environment. It is not reality, but the skeleton of reality. Actuality has been lost in the exigencies of the chase. Having first rejected the mind as a worker of illusion,
Do you guys remember where this one is? Is it
say,
up there somewhere inside the building, or is it somewhere down here?
Your fanciful illusions.
I'm a bit more
There is no
interested
way to
in
make
that
any one of them
than
an actual world.
dear
Please
Addington's
choose one and weave your
ramblings.
fanciful images into it. That alone can make it actual. We have torn away the mental
Shut
fancies
up,
to get to the reality beneath,
please.
only to find that the reality of that which is beneath is bound up with its potentiality of awakening these fancies.
Ooh, okay.
It is because the mind, the weaver of illusion, is also the only guarantor of reality, that reality is always to be sought at the base
Right.
of illusion.
So it's not going to be
Illusion is to
this
reality
one then.
as the smoke to the fire.
Can check, I
I will
suppose.
not urge that hoary untruth, there is no smoke without fire. But it is reasonable to inquire whether, in the mystical illusions of man, there is not a reflection of an underlying reality.
If it is indeed having...
1927.
Thank you, Arthur. If it is indeed having to get the elevator up to the top, I'm going to be so disappointed that I didn't pick it up when I was up there. But this one isn't going to be it because I think from looking from the elevator, it was relatively to the left, looking from here. So I don't think this is going to be it. It's just going to be so annoying having to check every floor again and then solve the puzzles again. Alright, let's just... Oh, my eyes. Oh, my actual strain on the eyes. At least you'd hope that the color green would stand out from the recorder, except for, of course, the green floor, which is the exact reason why I suspect it might also just be on the green floor. They seem to like to do that. Oh, right. Wait. There is glass over here, right? So I think the way we did it was like this. Could we not check? I think the angle doesn't allow for it. Right. Kind of forgot whether you could see that or if you had to just deduce this by yourself. Oh, it's actually in the green room. Ah, man, I just knew it. It's the perfect move. It's the perfect move to throw you off and make it just that little bit more annoying and hard to see. This is not a green room yet, right? This is sort of, I don't know what to call it. So, one more floor, I think. Well, let's make sure. Don't want to have to go through this again and again. That should work for green. Right, let's hop off, whether it stops or not. Goodbye. There we go.
As scientists, we realize that color is merely a question of...
I've actually been in this room to solve this puzzle. That's annoying.
Does not seem to have dispelled the feeling that
yes, Cyan, that's the one I was looking for.
Subject for rhapsody. Whilst those
I was gonna say mint, but it's not really mint.
We have not yet reached the practice of the Laputans who, if they would, for example, praise the beauty of a woman or any other animal, they describe it by rhombs, circles, parallelograms, ellipses, and other geometrical terms. The materialist, who is convinced that all phenomena arise from electrons and quanta and the like, controlled by mathematical formulae, must presumably hold the belief that his wife is a rather elaborate differential equation. But he is probably tactful enough not to obtrude this opinion in domestic life. If this kind of scientific dissection is felt to be inadequate and irrelevant in ordinary personal relationships, it is surely out of place in the most personal relationship of all, that of the human soul to a divine spirit. Arthur Eddington, 1927.
Arthur again. At least this quote was a lot quicker than on its previous one. I like how this elevator goes slow for safety purposes, and then just the complete building has been falling apart. Oh, I could have stepped off there as well then. Right, okay, cool. Now we need to go back to the lake, find the next one, activate yet another recorder on the way. So, what are these things called? I just call them recorders instead of recordings. I think they're also sort of memos or memo recorders. Not really sure.
We join spokes together in a wheel, but it is the center hole that makes the wagon move. We shape clay into a pot, but it is the emptiness inside that holds whatever we want. We hammer wood for a house, but it is
Alright.
the inner space.
I'll just call
that
them
makes it
recordings
move.
then.
We work with being, but non-being is what we use.
Oh,
Lao Tzu, 6th century BC.
I'm also wondering how to pick up this one because it's so... This seems to be the edge of the map. And then there's this one. I can only imagine you can pick this one up only with a boat. And it's on some rock out at sea. That's what I've been thinking, which could be it. But not completely sure. So I think almost all of these are going to be at the mountain top. Except for maybe this one. This might be the cathedral. Yeah, a memo recorder is what I think. That's what I've been going with. Right. So let's ignore these ones for now, because they might be underground then. They might actually be in the challenge area, or the pre-challenge area, actually. So let's go with this one. Or these ones. That's the bunker, so this one could be near the bunker as well. Or the cathedral. These ones, I'm going to check the mountaintop first. So let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That could all be at the mountaintop. We'll see how many we find up there. I do believe there was a conglomeration of recorders up there that it does check out. And I'll take a bit of an... I'll go through the right. So I can check the bunker as well. To see if it's up there, or if it's in... If it's not in there, it's probably going to be the cathedral downstairs. Was there one up here as well, maybe? I think I've solved a panel. I think there was also a recording. I'm just not sure if I picked that one up already or not. I did solve it. I had not picked it up, I think. Or have I? I think I have, actually.
The most beautiful experience we can
Oh yeah, I
have
think I
is the
picked this one up.
mysterious. It is
Oh,
the
well.
fundamental emotion that stands at the cradle of true art and true science. Whoever does not know it, and can no longer wonder, no longer marvel, is as good as dead, and his eyes are dimmed. It was the experience of mystery, even if mixed with fear, that engendered religion. A knowledge of the existence of something we cannot penetrate, our perceptions of the profoundest reason and the most radiant beauty, which only in their most primitive forms are accessible to our minds. It is this knowledge and this emotion that constitute true religiosity. In this sense, and in this alone, I am a deeply religious man. I cannot conceive of a God who rewards and punishes his creatures, or has a will of the kind that we experience in
I
ourselves.
think it's going to be in the
Neither can I,
cathedral.
nor would I, want to conceive of an individual that survives his physical death. Let feeble souls, from fear or absurd egoism, cherish such thoughts. I am satisfied with the mystery of the eternity of life, and with the awareness and a glimpse of the marvelous structure of the existing world, together, with the devoted striving to comprehend a portion,
Can
be
I
it
cut this
ever
one
so
short if I
tiny,
start this?
of the reason that manifests itself in nature? Albert Einstein, 1931.
Right, at least Albert keeps his thoughts short and to the point.
Up there, you go around every hour and a half, time after time after time. You wake up usually in the mornings, and just the way that the track of your orbits go, you wake up over the Mideast, over North Africa. As you eat breakfast, you look out the window as you're going past, and there's the Mediterranean area, and Greece, and Rome, and North Africa, and the Sinai, the whole area. And you realize that in one glance, that what you're seeing is what was the whole history of man for years, the cradle of civilization. And you go around down across North Africa and out over the Indian Ocean and look up at that great subcontinent of India, pointed down toward you as you go past it. And Ceylon off to the side, Burma, Southeast Asia, out over the Philippines, and up across that monstrous Pacific Ocean. Vast body of water. You've never realized how big that is before. And you finally come up across the coast of California and look for those friendly things. Los Angeles and Phoenix and on across El Paso. And there's Houston. There's home.
Is there no one?
And you look,
Nothing
and sure
here.
enough, there's the Astrodome. And you identify with that, you know? It's an attachment. And down across New Orleans, and then looking down to the south, and there's the whole peninsula of Florida laid out. And all the hundreds of hours you spent flying across that route, down in the atmosphere, all that is friendly again. And you go out across the Atlantic Ocean and back across Africa. And you do it again, and again, and again. And that identity, that you identify with Houston, and then you identify with Los Angeles, and Phoenix, and New Orleans, and everything. And the next thing you recognize in yourself is you're identifying with North Africa. You look forward to that. You anticipate it. And there it is. That whole process begins to shift of what it is you identify with. When you go around it in an hour and a half, you begin to recognize that your identity is with that whole thing. And that makes a change. You look down there, and you can't imagine how many borders and boundaries you crossed again and again and again.
I guess this is still not underground, right?
That wake-up scene, the
Go up
Mideast,
here.
you know there are hundreds of people killing each other over some imaginary line that you can't see. From where you see it, the thing is a whole, and it's so beautiful. And you wish you could take one from each side in hand and say, look at it from this perspective. Look at that. What's important? And so a little later on, your friend, again those same neighbors, another astronaut, the person next to you goes out to the moon. And now he looks back and sees the Earth not as something big where he can see the beautiful details, but he sees the Earth as a small thing out there. And now that contrast between that bright blue and white Christmas
Doesn't like
tree
that
ornament
corner.
and that black sky, that infinite universe, really comes through. The size of it, the significance of it, it becomes both things. It becomes so small and so fragile, and such a precious little spot in that universe that you can block it out with your thumb. And you realize that on that small spot, that little blue and white thing is everything that means anything to you. All of history and music and poetry and art and war and death and birth and love, tears, joy, games, all of it is on that little spot out there that you can cover with your thumb. And you realize that that perspective, that you've changed, that there's something new there, that relationship is no longer what it was.
Found one.
And then you look back on the time when you were outside on that EVA and those few moments that you had the time because the camera malfunctioned, that you had the time to think about what was happening. And you recall staring out there at the spectacle that went before your eyes. Because now, you're no longer inside something with a window looking out at a picture. But now you're out there, and what you've got around your head is a goldfish bowl, and there are no limits here. There are no frames. There are no boundaries. You're really out there, over it, floating, going 25,000 miles per hour, ripping through space, a vacuum, and there's not a sound. There's a silence, the depth of which you've never experienced before. And that silence contrasts so markedly with the scenery and the speed with which you know you're going. That contrast, the mix of those two things, really comes through. And you think about what you're experiencing and why. Do you deserve this? This fantastic experience? Have you earned this in some way? Are you separated out to be touched by God to have some special experience?
Alright, I'll start looking for a next one while we wait.
You know the answer to that is no. There's nothing that you've done that deserves that earned that. It's not a special thing for you. You know very well at that moment, and it comes through to you so powerfully, that you're the sensing element for man. You look down and see the surface of that globe that you've lived on all this time, and you know all those people down there. They are like you. They are you. And somehow you represent them when you are up there.
Okay, there's one.
A sensing element. That point out on the end. And that's a humbling feeling.
Is there one in
It's a feeling
there
that
as well,
says
maybe?
You have a responsibility. It's not for yourself.
Let's
The
check.
eye that doesn't see does not do justice to the body. That's why it's there. That's why you're out there. And somehow you recognize that you're a piece of this total life. You're out on that forefront. And
Let's
you
remember
have to
the
bring that
shape.
back somehow.
It's sort of a
And that becomes
staircase,
a rather
but
special
then a square up
responsibility.
here.
It tells you something about your relationship with this thing we call life. And when you come back, there's a difference in that world now. There's a difference in that relationship between you and that planet, and you and all those other forms of life on that planet, because you've had that kind of experience. It's a difference, and it's so precious. And all through this, I've used the word you because it's not me. It's not Dave Scott. It's not Dick Gordon, Pete Conrad, John Glenn. It's you. It's us. It's we. It's life. It's had that experience. And it's not just my problem to integrate. It's not my challenge to integrate, my joy to integrate. It's yours. It's everybody's. Russell Schweikart, 1975.
Alright, well, finally.
Therefore, I thank you, my God, because you make clear to me that there is no other way of approaching you, except that which to all humans, even to the most learned philosophers, seems wholly inaccessible and impossible. For you have shown me that you cannot be seen elsewhere than where impossibility confronts and obstructs me.
How do I
You
do this
are
again?
the food of the mature.
I mean, I've
You've given me
been there
courage
before,
to
of
do
course,
violence to
but
myself. For impossibility coincides with necessity, and I have discovered that the place where you are found unveiled is girded about with the coincidence of contradictories. This is the wall of paradise, and it is there in paradise that you reside. The wall's gate is guarded by the highest
does that
spirit of
work?
reason,
I think it works.
and unless it is overpowered, the gate will not lie open.
Excuse me.
Thus, it is on the other side of the coincidence of contradictories.
Don't forget
you will be
about that
able to be
one.
seen, and nowhere on this side. If, therefore, impossibility
Oh, there is
necessity
one.
in your sight, O Lord, there is nothing
Glad I
which
did
your
this.
sight does not see. Nicholas of Cusa,
Nicholas,
1553.
my dude.
Two major schools of Zen exist in Japan, the Rinzai and the Soto. Both have the same goal of seeing the world unmediated, but their approaches are different. In In the Soto school, the emphasis is on quiet contemplation in a seated position without a particular focus for thought. The method in the Rinzai school, however, is to put the intellect to work on problems that have no logical resolution. Such problems are known as koans, from the Chinese kongan, meaning public announcement. Some are mere questions. For example, when your mind is not dwelling on the dualism of good and evil, what is your original face before you were born? Others are set in a question and answer form, like, what is the Buddha? Answer,
Right.
3 pounds of flax, or the cypress tree in the courtyard, to name but 2 of the classic responses. According to tradition, there are 1,700 such conundrums in the Zen repertoire, and their common aim is to induce a kind of
Alright, let's maybe move on for
intellectual
now, and we'll come back
catastrophe,
here. This line doesn't
Sensha,
change.
which lifts the individual out of the domain of words and reason into a direct, non-mediated experience known as Satori. Zen differs from other meditative forms, including other schools of Buddhism, in that it does not start from where we are and gradually lead us to a clear view of the true way of the world. It is not a progressive system in this respect. The sole purpose of studying Zen is to have Zen experiences, sudden moments, like flashes of lightning, when the intellect is short-circuited and there is no longer a barrier between the experiencer and reality. David Darling.
Oh, okay, let's go back,
1986.
Pick that one up. I don't think I've forgotten to pick one up yet, right? Just make sure don't have to backtrack a whole lot.
The relation between the controller and the controlled is reciprocal. The scientist in the laboratory studying the behavior of a pigeon designs contingencies and observes their effects. His apparatus exerts a conspicuous control on the pigeon, but we must not overlook the control exerted by the pigeon. The behavior of the pigeon has determined the design of the apparatus and the procedures in which it is used. Some such reciprocal control is characteristic of all science. As Francis Bacon put it, nature, to be commanded, must be obeyed. The scientist who designs a cyclotron is under the control of the particles he is studying. The behavior with which a parent controls his child, either aversively or through positive reinforcement, is shaped and maintained by the child's responses. A psychotherapist changes the behavior of his patient in ways which have been shaped and maintained by his success in changing that behavior. A government or religion prescribes and imposes sanctions selected by their effectiveness in controlling citizen or communicant. An employer induces his employees to work industriously and carefully with wage systems determined by their effects on behavior. The classroom practices of the teacher are shaped and maintained by the effects on his students. In a very real sense, then, the slave controls the slave driver, the child, the parent, the patient, the therapist, the citizen, the government, the communicant, the priest, the employee, the employer, and the student, the teacher. B.F. Skinner, 1971.
Ooh. Who was B.F. Skinner again, by the way? I recognize the name, but I can't tell you who it was. I did not expect this to bear fruit, by the way, looking behind these panels.
You see, a motif is this. He put his hands together, drew them apart, the 10 fingers open.
Ah,
Then
okay.
slowly, very slowly, brought them together again, clasped
Right.
them.
I don't really want to
squeezed
change
into
this, so I'll
meshing them.
go the other way around
That's what one should try
through
to
the
achieve.
mountain.
If one hand is held too high or too low, it won't work. Not a single link should be too slack, leaving a hole through which the emotion, the light, the truth can escape. You must understand that I work on the whole canvas, on everything at once. With one impulse, with undivided faith, I approach all the scattered bits and pieces. Everything we see falls apart, vanishes, doesn't it?
Ah, I see.
Nature
Okay.
is always the same, but nothing in her that appears to us lasts. our art must render the thrill of her permanence along with her elements. The appearance of all her changes.
What do we do? Do we
It must
go
give us a
straight
taste of
for
her eternity.
the rest of the mountain, or do we visit the lake first to see
Maybe
how
not.
many there's left and where they
Everything.
might be?
Everything, you understand? So I bring together her wandering hands. I take something at right, something at left, here,
Yeah, I
there,
could,
everywhere.
yeah,
Her tones, her colors, her
could do that.
nuances.
I technically
Sit them
have
down,
access
bring
to
them
both
together.
parts.
They form
Otherwise, I
lines,
couldn't solve one of the
objects,
environmental puzzles
rocks,
last
trees,
time.
without my planning. They
But
take
yeah,
volume,
might come back and do that.
If these volumes,
I don't
these
really
boundaries
need it anymore, I
correspond
think.
on my
As
canvas,
long as I can get
bring
in
my
like this.
sensibility to the planes, to the spots which are
Let's visit the lake
before
real
our
quick.
eyes.
And we're
My
close
canvas
anyway.
has brought its hands together. It does not waver. The hands have been joined neither too high nor too low. My canvas is true, compact, full. But if there is the slightest distraction, if I fail just a little bit, above all, if I interpret too much one day, if today I am carried away
Ooh,
by a theory which runs
that's
counter
almost
to
all of them
history,
done. I think this one might just be the cathedral,
I meddle, whoosh, everything goes
or
to
it
pieces.
might
As related by Joaquin
it might
Wilson.
either be the cathedral or the room right before the cathedral. And then this might be the cathedral. That is a possibility. But we did a good chunk of them, that's nice. And those 5 ones, so if your theory is correct, if the yellow ones are subterranean ones, then those might all 4 be in the challenge room or the pre-challenge room. Except for this one might be above somewhere. I think, was that the monastery? No, that was the monastery. This one is going to be the wait, hello. Oh, the jungle. This is going to be the jungle. Like the bamboo forest. Alright. That'll work? Yeah, I think that's the bamboo forest, so there's one more left. And then these are probably all pre-challenge room. Ooh, I did miss this one as well. Don't forget that. Alright. So 3 in the mountain, I think. And alright, we'll see. We'll see. So let's say the laser is there. Oh, that's not gonna work. So the laser is there and the pillar is here. Then it might be... We picked one up over there, right? If you guys don't mind, let's go back to see where the one for the bamboo forest could be. Just to see how far away it is from the one we did pick up. Sort of try to triangulate that one. So glad this game has a sprint button. I think the one near the waterfall is that one. This one's a lot closer. This one's actually going to be inside the bamboo forest, I think. I'm just not sure about these one, if these can actually be underground. Not sure where the challenge room goes. I mean, it could be, because I think the tunnels lead from the mountain all the way back to town. So it is very possible, actually, that they are underground. So, how long would you guys guess that I still have left? How long would I still need to stream for to pick up the last few recordings and then do the last environmental puzzles? I think it's not gonna work today, is it? Because there's also watching the movies in the theater, and from what I've heard, those are not short. Some of them take quite a bit. You have to actually watch them because of the environmental puzzles. I think there's at least 3 you need to solve in the theater. I think it's still a whole stream worth of... I'm afraid it might be even more than an hour.
If we were not able or did not desire to look in any new direction, if we did not have a doubt or recognize ignorance, we would not get any new ideas. There would be nothing worth checking because we would know what is true. So what we call scientific knowledge today is a body of statements of varying degrees of certainty. Some of them are most unsure, some of them are nearly sure, but none
That's
is
one.
absolutely certain. Scientists are used to this. We know that it is consistent
Let's wait it
to
out
be able
because
to live and not know.
I don't know where all
Some
the other
people
ones
say,
might be.
How can you live without knowing? I
Actually,
do not know what they mean.
I remember
I always
this one.
live without knowing.
At least I
That's
have
easy.
you guys, that if I forget to
Get
pick this one
know
up,
is what I want to do.
you guys can remind me.
This freedom to doubt is an important matter in the sciences, and I believe in other fields. It was born of a struggle. It was a struggle to be permitted to doubt, to be unsure. And I do not want us to forget the importance of the struggle, and by default, to let the thing fall away. I feel a responsibility as a scientist who knows the great value of a satisfactory philosophy of ignorance, and the progress made possible by such a philosophy. Progress which is the fruit of freedom of thought. I feel a responsibility to proclaim the value of this freedom and to teach that doubt is not to be feared, but that it is to be welcomed as the possibility of a new potential for human beings. If you know that you are not sure, you have a chance to improve the situation. I want to demand this freedom for future generations. Richard Feynman, 1963.
Good old Richard Feynman. Wasn't there a video of Richard Feynman in the game, in the theater as well, or was he not in there? Ah, it was? Okay. Yeah, there was this really awesome The Witness, I think it's called a think piece or a thought piece, on YouTube that I watched recently. It was really well put together, and I think I remember how you get to know. Yeah, because of that video, I think there was one of the videos that he showed a little bit of was Richard Feynman. It also had he also included a little bit of the Japanese, what was the word again? Like the Japanese Zen ideology was included. I really do recommend it. I think it's called The Witness Interpretation, The Unbearable Now. It was really well put together. Really made me appreciate the game even more. Alright, let's not forget that one up there. We have to find a couple more. I think 2 of them were further up there, so they could be in the challenge room. But I think I've checked that one on this stream. Maybe not intensely enough, but I think I did try to see if there were any there. Hello. That is nice.
God bade me behold the sea, and I saw the ship sinking and the planks floating.
Wait,
Then the planks too were submerged.
haven't we heard this
God
exact
said
thing?
to me, "Those who voyage are not saved." And he said to me, "Those who
I'm pretty sure we haven't picked this one up
cast
yet,
themselves into
but
the
we
sea,
have
take a risk."
heard this exact same
He
thing,
said
haven't
to
we?
me, "Those who voyage and take no risk shall perish." And he said to me, "In taking the risk, there is a part of salvation."
Or is it just
And the
slightly
wave
different?
came and lifted those beneath it and overran the shore. And he said to me, "The surface of the sea is a gleam that cannot be reached, and the bottom is a darkness impenetrable. And between the two are great fishes,
Ah, okay.
which are to be feared." Nefari, circa 970.
He's tired.
What?
I'm going to the store. Do you want a sandwich or something?
You've been standing there for like an hour,
I didn't want to interrupt.
and I don't like sandwiches. Have you ever seen me with a sandwich? Why would you think I want a sandwich?
Sorry.
No,
These are the important
I need
questions.
some sleep.
It's okay. We're all working hard.
I just want to read it right.
Oh man.
We're going to be hearing this a lot of times. Every little thing matters because it gets so multiplied.
It's good. It's already good.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, we've kind of picked high goalposts. Every little bit matters. Oh, can you get me a coffee?
In any case, our 3 days old infant cannot be very confident of any interpretation it puts on a universe which it only discovered a minute or two ago. We have said it has 70 years of life before it, but in truth, its expectation of life would seem to be nearer to 70,000 years. It may be puzzled, distressed, and often irritated at the apparent meaninglessness and incomprehensibility of the world to which it has suddenly wakened up. But it is still very young. It might travel half the world over before finding another baby as young and inexperienced as itself. It has before it time enough and to spare, in which it may understand everything. Sooner or later, the pieces of the puzzle must
Don't know how
begin
many
to fit
more
together.
there are over here, to be honest.
Although it may reasonably be doubted whether the whole picture
I feel
can
like there
ever
might be one
be
more over
comprehended
here.
into one small and apparently quite insignificant part of the picture.
Like the one that was really far off.
1928.
But there might also be over there near the boat. You have to use the boat to go along that rock and then you pick it up there. I feel like that is a bit more realistic. So right now I think I'm going to finish it off in a few minutes here because I need to have some dinner. But I was gonna say maybe I'll finish it up later tonight, but I think I already planned on playing Dying Light with a group, so that might not work either. But I'll... Oh man, that is hidden well. But I will finish it up as soon as possible. I think that is where I left off last time. I only have to pick the one up near the tree.
With all the unexplored potentialities of babyhood, And until the last few moments, its interest has been centered absolutely and exclusively on its cradle and feeding bottle. It has just become conscious of the vast world existing outside itself and its cradle. It is learning to focus its eyes on distant objects, and its awakening brain is beginning to wonder.
Wait, what? Oh,
in a vague,
whoops.
dreamy way, what they are and what purpose they serve. Its interest in this external world is not much developed yet, so that the main part of its faculties is still engrossed with the cradle and feeding bottle, but
Yeah, that one's interesting, huh?
is beginning
That one's
to
really hidden. You can just about see it from
James
here.
James, 1928.
Alright, so I think the only one left in this area might be that one near the tree. Oh, that's wrong. There we go. So I think I'll pick that one up, move to the lake, and then close it off for tonight. Maybe I'll be back before I need to play Dying Light with the group. Not too sure. But in case that I can't play and finish it up tonight, then I will try to do that within the next 2 or 3 days and just finish this game up for good.
Then the occupant of the first would shout to keep him clear. And if the other did not hear it the first time, nor even when called 3 times, bad language would inevitably follow. In the first case, there was no anger, and in the second, there was. Because in the first case, the boat was empty, and in the second, it was occupied. And so it is with man. If he could only roam empty through life, who would be able to injure him? Shuangsu, 4th century BC.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I missed 2 actually.
I don't know. I don't remember. Wait, what? No, it's not. It's normal for me. I never remember my dreams. If I try.
This one's really close to.
Just barely remember fragments. Later in the day, even.
I think we did pick up this one.
Unless I wrote them down.
There might have been the one in the
Later, it's like
mine,
ramblings of a crazy person.
in the
But then how do
where the blue panels are.
side effects? I mean, do you remember everything?
This one's more interesting. This one's
It's
closer.
fine. We're just doing suppression.
I don't know where I picked up that one.
Everything is still there.
This was a
Dreams
tree.
often take on
We could
personalities
deduce that this is on the opposite end of the cave,
details of our waking
near the
life.
extra panels.
Remember
And this one
impressions.
is maybe in the challenge room,
How does that
right
happen?
next to the cave.
We're just using the same pathways. It's fine.
It's also, this is where the bunker is, so that's where the challenge,
If something's
like the
missing.
ending room of the challenge is.
If you
So this is where the
forget a few
challenge
random
takes
little
place.
things, how would you
Or is it this
remember
one?
you forgot?
Oh,
Something big is missing.
I think it's probably this one where the challenge takes place, right?
Wait. Who are you again?
Oh God, why did we let you go first?
First hasn't happened yet. I was just
Right.
dipping my toes into the pool. The real
That's
first
going to be
happens
for
when
next time, I
someone
think.
comes in and gets to
It
decide for
should
themselves.
only be those 2,
Who's that gonna be? You?
and then this recording here with the boat, probably.
Would be doing anything this scary?
It'll be fine. It's not scary. It'll be fun.
So fun you don't even remember?
Okay, no. Shoo. I want to re-record this one before I go home.
I think that's
No ideas.
all the recordings, right?
What?
Just those 3 left.
Test?
Those 2 yellow ones, and the one
It's a test.
in the
Possibly.
distance.
I thought you didn't remember anything.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Alright.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Like I said, I don't think it'll be happening this stream, but next stream we'll be able to finish it off, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Thanks everyone for watching so far. I might be back tonight, but I think it's just a little too little time to completely finish it up. But I'll see you guys soon. I'll make sure to finish this game properly. And then hopefully you guys will either give me some recommendations for other games I can play, or you'll stick it out with the trash taste that I will be displaying with the games I will be playing afterwards. I was thinking of playing Saints Row Get Out of Hell, maybe. So if any of you guys would be interested in that, I would love to hear that. Anyway, thanks for tonight so far. See you guys soon. And have a good night. Goodbye.